In a world brimming with aspirations and ambitions, it's crucial to step back and reassess the path to our goals. This isn't just another pep talk about setting resolutions or chasing dreams. It's an invitation to a transformative journey. Today, we delve deep into what it truly takes to turn your aspirations into tangible realities. This exploration is more than just a guide, it's a catalyst for a profound shift in how you approach your goals in 2024. As we stand on the cusp of a new year filled with untapped potential and uncharted territories, the questions loom large. How do we navigate the journey from where we are to where we want to be? What does it take to break free from the chains of conventional thinking and truly achieve what we set out to do? Our exploration begins by challenging the conventional wisdom about goal setting and achievement. We delve into why adopting an unconventional approach, sometimes even embracing the misunderstood art of being a fool, could be the key to unlocking paths less traveled, yet more rewarding. It's about having the courage to pursue what truly matters, even if it means standing apart from the crowd. Then we confront a subtle yet pervasive challenge, the inertia that holds many back from maturing and evolving. This isn't just about age or life stages, it's about mindset. It's about understanding the traps that keep us in a state of extended adolescence and learning how to step into our full potential as individuals in control of our destinies. And of course, we tackle the ever-pervasive quest for success. In a world where success narratives are often painted in broad impersonal strokes, we take a different route. We're here to dissect what success really means on a personal level, and how to craft a vision of success that aligns with your deepest values and aspirations. As we venture into 2024, this journey is about equipping you with the insights, strategies, and perspectives needed to transform your goals from mere thoughts into lived experiences. It's about shifting from passive longing to active, purposeful doing. Join me in this exploration, and let's redefine what it means to truly achieve your goals in the year ahead. In a world of ever-evolving complexities, where following the norm is often seen as a safer route, there lies a hidden art. The art of being what some might call a fool. Imagine for a moment a tightrope walker, taking that precarious first step. To many, that decision might seem foolish. Why leave the safety of solid ground? Yet for the performer, it's a dream, a passion, and a defining aspect of their identity. Similarly, each of us faces a metaphorical tightrope in our lives, the fine line between societal expectations and our deepest aspirations. The term fool often carries with it a myriad of connotations, most of them derogatory. Fools, as we're traditionally led to believe, lack judgment, wisdom, and foresight. They're the jesters, the clowns, the naive dreamers who dare to venture beyond the well-trodden path. But what if, buried within the essence of foolishness, there's a profound wisdom? A wisdom that recognizes that life's grandest adventures and deepest learnings often lie outside the contours of convention? Over the course of history, countless philosophers, thinkers, and creatives have not just hinted at but have celebrated this unique perspective. Their teachings and life stories provide us with invaluable insights, ones that challenge the status quo and encourage us to view the world through a different lens. A lens that values audacity, courage, and the drive to chase after what might initially seem unreachable. Enter the art of being a fool. In understanding this concept, we delve deep into the psyche of humanity. Throughout time, our greatest advancements, innovations, and expressions have come from those willing to be ridiculed, willing to be misunderstood, willing to, essentially, be the fool. From the artists who introduced avant-garde movements only to be dismissed by their contemporaries, to the scientists who posited groundbreaking theories that upended conventional wisdom, it was their foolish resilience and faith in their dreams that carved the path forward. But why is it so essential to harness this seemingly counterintuitive idea? In its essence, the art of being a fool is about authenticity. It's about staying true to oneself despite external pressures to conform. It's about the audacity to believe in our dreams, no matter how far-fetched or distant they may appear. By doing so, we not only find purpose and meaning in our own lives, but also inspire others to do the same. The societal norms and expectations we face today aren't necessarily designed to suppress our dreams, but they do often encourage conformity. From a young age, we're steered towards paths deemed secure and acceptable. Rarely are we urged to question, to dream, and to chase those dreams with an unabashed fervor. Yet history has repeatedly shown us that those who have made a lasting impact, who have truly lived lives of fulfillment, are those who embrace the art of being a fool. In this exploration, we're not just discussing the abstract idea of foolishness. We're delving into a roadmap, drawing from the wisdom of revered philosophers, psychologists, and authors who have all, in their unique ways, embraced and championed this art form. Through their perspectives, we'll discover that being a fool is not about ignorance or naivety. It's about courage, passion, and the relentless pursuit of one's dreams. So, as we start this journey together, I invite you to set aside preconceptions, to open your heart and mind, and to rediscover the profound wisdom that lies in the art of being a fool. After all, as the famed George Bernard Shaw once remarked, all progress depends on the unreasonable man. Or in our context, the unyielding dreamer, the timeless fool. In the vast tapestry of mythological tales, where gods, mortals, and creatures of all kinds play out the timeless dramas of existence, there lies a singular narrative thread, a thread that, irrespective of culture or epoch, seems to reverberate with a universal resonance. This is Joseph Campbell's renowned concept of the hero's journey. Joseph Campbell, in his seminal work, The Hero with a Thousand Faces, delved deep into the myths and stories of diverse cultures, only to unearth a startling revelation. Beneath the varied facades of these tales was a monomyth, a single overarching narrative structure. It was the story of the hero, an individual who departs from the familiar, confronts the unknown, faces challenges, and ultimately returns transformed. This cyclical journey is echoed in tales from the Indian Ramayana to the Greek Odyssey, from the biblical story of Moses to modern sagas like Star Wars. But where, one might ask, does the fool come into play in this grand narrative? At the very onset of the hero's journey, the protagonist often takes on the role of the fool. This is not a comment on their intelligence or capability, but rather their innocence, curiosity, and willingness to dive into the unknown without a clear roadmap. The fool is unburdened by the weight of knowledge and convention. They act on intuition, heart, and an insatiable quest for discovery. It's this foolishness that propels them into the adventure. Consider, for instance, the figure of Luke Skywalker from Star Wars. At the start, he is but a naive farm boy, unfamiliar with the ways of the Force and the larger universe. He's the quintessential fool, taking risks, following an unfamiliar calling, stepping into a world fraught with peril. And yet it's precisely this naivety, this foolishness, that allows him to embark on a journey that transforms him into a Jedi, a hero. Similarly, in countless other tales, the hero starts as an unsuspecting individual, often underestimated, ridiculed, or dismissed by those around them. Think of Bilbo Baggins in Tolkien's The Hobbit, initially seen as nothing more than a simple hobbit with no taste for adventure. Yet it's this very innocence, this touch of the fool, that makes his journey so compelling and transformative. Campbell emphasized that the journey of the hero isn't just about external adventures, battling monsters, finding treasures, or rescuing the damsel in distress. It's equally, if not more, about the internal voyage, confronting one's fears, doubts, and insecurities. The hero's external challenges are often mirrors of their internal struggles. And it's here, in this internal landscape, that the fool's qualities become even more crucial. For it's the fool's inherent openness, resilience, and adaptability that allows the hero to grow, learn, and eventually triumph. However, this journey is not without its challenges and uncertainties. The road is fraught with trials, and the hero is constantly tested. They face temptations, confront their darkest fears, and grapple with their own identity. But it's the fool's indomitable spirit, the ability to rise after every fall, to laugh in the face of adversity, and to view the world with fresh, untainted eyes, that ensures the hero's eventual return and transformation. In essence, the fool is the starting point, the spark that ignites the flame of adventure. But as the journey unfolds, the line between the fool and the hero begins to blur. For every hero has a touch of the fool, and every fool carries within them the potential to be a hero. And in this delicate dance between innocence and wisdom, between vulnerability and strength, lies the profound message of Joseph Campbell's hero's journey, that each of us, no matter how foolish we might seem, carries within us the seeds of greatness, waiting for the right moment to sprout and transform us. Diving deeper into the philosophical undercurrents that shape our understanding of the fool and the hero, we stumble upon the profound musings of Friedrich Nietzsche, a philosopher whose influence reverberates through time, challenging our conventional notions of morality, existence, and the human spirit. One of Nietzsche's most profound and perhaps misunderstood concepts is that of the Übermensch, often translated as the Superman or Overman. But what is the Übermensch? At its core, Nietzsche's Superman isn't a physical or biological superior being, nor is it a call for some dystopian hierarchy. Instead, it's an ideal, a symbolic representation of a person who has managed to overcome themselves, their internal doubts, societal norms, and inherited values to create their own individual meaning and values. The Übermensch stands as a beacon of self-overcoming, a person who dares to dream beyond the confines set by society, culture, and even history. They don't just inherit values, they create them. They don't just live life, they define its purpose. By doing so, they inevitably risk being seen as outsiders, as heretics, or indeed, as fools. In his seminal work, Thus Spoke Zarathustra, Nietzsche writes, "I teach you the overman. Man is something that shall be overcome. What have you done to overcome him?" Through these words, Nietzsche is challenging each one of us to embark on the greatest adventure of all, the adventure of self-overcoming. This journey is not about discarding our humanity, but about transcending its limitations, about forging our destiny rather than being shackled by fate. But this path to becoming the overman is fraught with challenges. The very act of defying societal norms, of questioning inherited wisdom, and of seeking one's own path can lead to isolation, ridicule, and misunderstanding. Think of Galileo, daring to dream of a heliocentric universe in a geocentric world, or of Vincent van Gogh, painting visions that the world wasn't ready to see. In their times, they were seen as mavericks, rebels, and yes, fools. Yet, they were Übermenschen in their own right, for they had the audacity to challenge, dream, and create on their own terms. Nietzsche believed that the societal structures, values, and moral codes we often cling to can become chains that bind our spirit. The overman breaks free from these chains. They recognize the void, the inherent meaninglessness of existence, and instead of despairing, they take it upon themselves to fill this void with their own purpose, values, and dreams. To be an Übermensch, then, is to embrace the role of the fool. It's to walk on the razor's edge, to dance on the precipice of societal acceptance and rejection, to risk everything for the sake of one's own vision. But it's also about recognizing the transformative power of will, of understanding that we are not mere playthings of fate, but active participants in the crafting of our destiny. As we reflect on Nietzsche's words and his vision of the Übermensch, we're reminded of the boundless potential within each of us. The potential to question, to challenge, and to redefine. The potential to be seen as a fool today and a visionary tomorrow. In this kaleidoscope of thought, where the fool, the hero, and the Übermensch intertwine, we come to see the intricate dance of existence. A dance where daring to dream, to question, and to seek one's own path is both the greatest risk and the most sublime reward. Navigating the labyrinth of human consciousness, we encounter the enigmatic and profound ideas of Swiss psychiatrist and psychoanalyst Carl Jung. A pioneering figure who ventured beyond the shores of conventional psychoanalysis, Jung delved deep into the realms of mythology, spirituality, and the collective unconscious to explore the very essence of human existence. Central to Jung's body of work are the concepts of the shadow and individuation. To understand our inner fool and how it relates to our dreams and aspirations, we must first embark on a journey into these profound realms of self-awareness and transformation. Often lurking in the periphery of our conscious mind is the shadow. This isn't some sinister force or malevolent entity, but rather, as Jung describes, the unconscious aspect of the personality which the conscious ego does not identify in itself. The shadow is a reservoir of feelings, desires, and memories that have been repressed, denied, or ignored. It encompasses everything we don't want to accept about ourselves, our fears, our weaknesses, and even latent potentialities. Why does the shadow matter when we talk about the fool? The fool in many ways is a manifestation of the shadow. In its purest form, the fool represents spontaneity, innocence, and a certain wildness, traits that society often asks us to suppress or control. Thus, embracing the fool within us means confronting our shadow, acknowledging the parts of ourselves that we've shunned or ignored. It's about accepting our imperfections, vulnerabilities, and hidden desires. Only by integrating the shadow can we hope to become whole, authentic beings. This brings us to Jung's idea of individuation, a lifelong process of becoming the person one is inherently meant to be, distinct from societal expectations or norms. It's the journey of self-realization, where one integrates the various facets of their unconscious, including the shadow, into their conscious self. The path of individuation is not about achieving an idealized version of oneself, but about reconciling and harmonizing the myriad forces within. The fool's journey, in many ways, mirrors this process of individuation. Like the fool, each of us embarks on a journey filled with trials, revelations, and transformations. As we confront and integrate our shadow, as we reconcile with our innermost fears and desires, we come closer to our true self. The fool's spontaneity, curiosity, and innocence are invaluable allies in this journey, helping us approach each twist and turn with an open heart and a willing spirit. Our dreams and aspirations are intricately linked to this process. They are, in essence, the soul's yearning for individuation, for wholeness. Each dream, whether it's a desire to create, to explore, or to connect, reflects a part of our unconscious seeking expression in the conscious world. The fool, with its uninhibited nature, becomes the bridge between these realms, urging us to listen to our innermost calls, to dare, to dream, and to explore the vast landscapes of our psyche. In one of his reflections, Jung stated, "Who looks outside dreams, who looks inside awakes." This captures the essence of our discussion. To truly understand and pursue our dreams, we must turn our gaze inward, embrace our inner fool, and embark on the journey of individuation. It's a journey where the destination is not a place but a state of being, a state of wholeness, authenticity, and profound self-awareness. In the grand tapestry of ideas, from Nietzsche's Übermensch to Campbell's hero's journey, Jung's concepts add another layer of depth. They remind us that the journey is as much inward as it is outward, that each challenge, each revelation, each dream is a stepping stone towards becoming our truest self. And in this journey, the fool is not just a companion, but a beacon, illuminating the path with its innocence, curiosity, and unabashed authenticity. In the grand theatre of philosophical thought, few have painted as vivid a portrait of the human condition as the French-Algerian writer and philosopher Albert Camus. Camus, a Nobel laureate, grappled with existential quandaries, painting a vision of life where meaning is not handed to us, but crafted by our own hands amidst the vast indifference of the universe. Central to Camus' philosophy is the concept of the absurd. Camus described the absurd as the conflict between our desire for meaning and the apparent meaninglessness of the universe. We, as humans, are driven by an innate quest for purpose and significance. Yet the universe, in its vastness and indifference, does not seem to offer any inherent meaning. This tension, this dissonance, is the essence of the absurd. Rather than view the absurd as a nihilistic endpoint, Camus saw it as a beginning, a realization from which one could construct a life of authenticity. In his work, The Myth of Sisyphus, Camus presents the tale of Sisyphus, condemned to push a boulder up a hill for eternity, only to see it roll back down each time he nears the summit. For Camus, Sisyphus embodies the human condition. Our endeavors, our struggles, our dreams might seem futile in the grand indifference of the cosmos, yet it is in the act of striving, of rebelling against the absurdity, that we find meaning. Dreams, aspirations, and pursuits are integral to this rebellion. Society, with its structures and norms, often imposes a certain rationality upon us. It dictates paths that promise stability, respect, and acceptance. Yet these societal norms often clash with the personal dreams that bubble within us, dreams that might seem irrational or unconventional. Camus' philosophy empowers us to embrace these dreams, not in spite of, but because of the absurd. If life inherently lacks meaning and our existence is set against the backdrop of an indifferent universe, then why not pursue what sets our soul alight? Why not follow the path that resonates with our essence, regardless of societal expectations or norms? Accepting the absurdity of life liberates us from the confines of societal shoulds and musts. It reminds us that societal norms are just as arbitrary as any other construct. In the grand, indifferent theater of the universe, choosing a life that aligns with societal expectations is no more rational than pursuing one's wildest, most irrational dreams. By recognizing and embracing the absurd, we free ourselves from the pressure of finding objective meaning or conforming to external standards. We become the authors of our destiny, crafting narratives that resonate with our deepest truths. This isn't a call to abandon responsibility or drift aimlessly, but an invitation to pursue our passions with vigor, to embrace the unpredictability of life, and to find joy in the act of living itself, irrespective of external validations. Camus once said, "The only way to deal with an unfree world is to become so absolutely free that your very existence is an act of rebellion." In a world bound by conventions where the weight of expectations can often stifle dreams, pursuing one's true calling, no matter how unconventional or foolish, becomes an act of rebellion, a rebellion against the absurdity of existence and societal impositions. As we reflect upon Camus' insights, we are reminded of the liberating power of acceptance. Accepting the absurdity of life doesn't lead to apathy, but to an empowered freedom. It reminds us that in the vast cosmic dance, we have but a fleeting moment, and in this moment, rather than be bound by the chains of convention, we can choose to dance to our own rhythm, to chase our dreams with abandon, and to craft a life that, while fleeting, is fiercely and authentically ours. In the ongoing saga of the fool's journey, the lessons from Camus offer a potent elixir. They remind us that sometimes the most rational act is to embrace our irrational dreams, to find meaning in the act of living, and to celebrate the beautiful, fleeting, and absurd dance of existence. As we move forward, let Camus' vision serve as a beacon, urging us to dream, to dare, and to embrace the profound freedom that comes from accepting life's inherent absurdity. The literary landscape of Russia is vast and rich, filled with introspective quests and profound human dilemmas. Amidst this grand tapestry stands a colossus, Fyodor Dostoevsky. His novels aren't just tales, they are profound investigations into the human soul, delving into questions of morality, existence, and the nature of evil and good. To navigate Dostoevsky's exploration of the fool, we turn to one of his most enigmatic and compelling characters, Prince Mishkin of The Idiot. Mishkin, with his open-hearted nature and disarming innocence, becomes an embodiment of the fool's virtues and offers us a window into Dostoevsky's vision of achieving dreams through authenticity and innocence. Upon his return to the bustling society of St. Petersburg after years in a Swiss sanatorium, Mishkin's lack of guile and simplicity quickly mark him as an idiot in the eyes of the Russian aristocracy. Yet his idiocy isn't rooted in ignorance, but rather in an unwavering innocence and a boundless empathy towards others. His inability, or perhaps refusal, to wear the societal masks and engage in its pretenses makes him both refreshing and, to some, pitiable. Mishkin's unbridled innocence, often perceived as naivety or foolishness, becomes his unique lens to view the world. While the society around him is riddled with deceit, jealousy, and pride, Mishkin remains largely untouched by these vices. His genuine concern for others, even those who ridicule or harm him, showcases the strength and resilience that comes from a pure heart. His interactions, especially with the tormented Nastasia Filipovna and the passionate Rogozhin, highlight the transformative power of genuine compassion. In a world where many are driven by selfish desires and masked intentions, Mishkin's genuine innocence stands in stark contrast. His straightforwardness, often deemed as foolishness, allows him to cut through societal facades. He doesn't engage in the usual games of one-upmanship or deceit. And while this often places him in precarious situations, it also allows him to remain true to himself, a beacon of authenticity in a sea of pretense. This authenticity is a potent force. For Dostoevsky, it's clear that innocence and foolishness, when rooted in a genuine understanding of oneself, can be more powerful than calculated cunning or societal savvy. Mishkin's dreams and aspirations are not driven by societal expectations, but by an inner moral compass, an innate understanding of good that remains uncorrupted by the world around him. For Dostoevsky, through characters like Prince Mishkin, the journey towards one's dreams is not a straight path paved with calculated decisions and societal validations. Instead, it's a winding road where the heart, in its innocence and foolishness, serves as the compass. Dreams, in the Dostoevskian universe, are deeply personal. They are not to be tailored according to societal norms, but are to be pursued with a relentless authenticity. Mishkin, in all his idiotic glory, represents this untamed pursuit. His interactions, his decisions, and even his missteps are all guided by a genuine sense of self, untainted by external influences. In one poignant moment, Mishkin remarks, "Beauty will save the world." This isn't just a comment on aesthetic beauty, but a profound reflection on the beauty of the human soul, in its rawest, most authentic form. For Dostoevsky, it's this beauty, this genuine authenticity, that holds the power to transform, to inspire, and to lead one towards their true dreams. As we traverse the intricate world of Dostoevsky, Prince Mishkin emerges not just as a character but as a philosophy, a testament to the power of authenticity and innocence. In the dance of existence, where many wear masks and tread paths laid out by societal expectations, figures like Mishkin remind us of the strength inherent in genuine innocence. In our ongoing exploration of the fool's journey, Dostoevsky's The Idiot adds a profound layer. It urges us to recognize the transformative power of authenticity and to understand that sometimes the most profound wisdom comes cloaked in the garb of foolishness. In The Pursuit of Dreams, Dostoevsky seems to whisper from the pages of his novels, "It's not the societal accolades or validations that matter, but the authenticity of the journey." And in this authentic journey, with all its trials and tribulations, lies the true realization of dreams, painted not in the colors of the world, but in the hues of one's heart. When we journey through the halls of philosophy, we inevitably encounter a figure whose influence has reverberated through the ages, shaping Western thought with a fervor that few have matched. Socrates, with his unyielding quest for truth and his distinctive method of questioning, remains one of history's most celebrated thinkers. Not only did he lay the foundations for critical thinking, but he also introduced profound insights into the nature of knowledge and the importance of self-awareness. The paradoxical claim, "I know that I know nothing," often attributed to Socrates, stands as a testament to his philosophical approach. On the surface, this statement might appear self-defeating or even nonsensical. But at its heart, it captures the essence of Socratic wisdom, humility. In a world where many claimed to have all the answers, Socrates admitted his ignorance. But this wasn't a declaration of defeat or apathy. It was an acknowledgement of the vastness of the universe and the limitations of human understanding. By accepting that he didn't have all the answers, Socrates opened the door to relentless inquiry and perpetual learning. Humility, as Socrates showcased, is not about self-deprecation, but about recognizing our limitations and being open to growth. In admitting his lack of knowledge, Socrates wasn't resigning to ignorance, but challenging himself and others to delve deeper, to question more fervently, and to seek truth with renewed vigor. This humility can be incredibly empowering, especially in the pursuit of dreams. In a society that often values absolute certainty and clear answers, admitting that we don't know everything can be liberating. It allows us to approach challenges with an open mind, to learn from our experiences, and to adapt our strategies. In the face of obstacles or failures, the acknowledgement that we don't have all the answers can fuel resilience and inspire innovation. Central to Socrates' approach was his method of questioning, known aptly as the Socratic method. Rather than providing direct answers, Socrates would engage in a series of probing questions, leading his interlocutors on a journey of self-discovery and critical examination. Through this method, Socrates aimed to peel back the layers of assumption and expose the core truths, or lack thereof, beneath. This relentless questioning can be profoundly transformative, especially when it comes to societal norms and conventions. In our journey towards our dreams, we often encounter societal expectations and established paths. These norms, while sometimes useful, can also be restrictive, boxing us into prescribed roles and stifling genuine aspirations. Socrates, with his method of questioning, offers a way out. By critically examining these norms, by asking why, we can discern which conventions align with our dreams and which don't. We can determine which societal paths aid our journey and which hinder it. In doing so, we can carve out our unique trajectory, one that is genuinely attuned to our aspirations. If Socratic philosophy were distilled into its essence concerning dream pursuit, it would emphasize self-awareness, critical thinking, and resilience. To chase one's dreams is not to follow a prescribed path blindly, but to forge one's way, questioning, learning, and adapting as one goes. Socrates' humility reminds us that the path to our dreams is not linear. It is filled with uncertainties, challenges, and moments of self-doubt. But it is in embracing these uncertainties, in acknowledging our limitations and yet pushing forward, that we truly grow. Additionally, by critically examining the societal norms that often shape our aspirations, we can ensure that our dreams are genuinely our own, not reflections of external expectations. We can ensure that our journey, with all its twists and turns, is one of authenticity. The legacy of Socrates, etched in the dialogues of Plato and the annals of philosophy, is not just of a thinker, but of a revolutionary. He did not just challenge ideas, he challenged ways of being, ways of thinking, and ways of dreaming. As we continue our exploration of the art of being a fool and the pursuit of dreams, the insights of Socrates serve as a guiding light. They remind us of the strength inherent in humility, the power of questioning, and the importance of self-awareness. In our quest for dreams, Socratic wisdom offers a potent reminder. It's not the destination, but the journey that matters. And in this journey, it's not the answers, but the questions, the reflections, and the relentless pursuit of understanding that truly pave the way. Let us move forward then with the spirit of Socrates, questioning, reflecting, and ever seeking as we chase our dreams with authenticity and fervor. For in the dance of aspirations, it's the rhythm of self-awareness and the steps of critical inquiry that truly make the dance worthwhile. Among the profound voices echoing through the halls of psychology and philosophy, Viktor Frankl's resonates with a particular poignancy. A Holocaust survivor, neurologist, and psychiatrist, Frankl didn't just theorize about human suffering and the search for meaning, he lived it. His experiences in Nazi concentration camps led him to develop logotherapy, a therapeutic approach centered on the pursuit of meaning in life. It's a perspective that can greatly illuminate our discussion on being a fool and the courageous endeavor of chasing dreams against the grain. At the core of Frankl's logotherapy lies an assertion both simple and profoundly deep. The primary motivational force for humans is the search for meaning. Unlike other psychotherapeutic approaches, which may focus on pleasure or power as driving forces, logotherapy posits that our deepest desires are directed towards understanding our purpose and discerning significance in our existence. For him, life holds potential meaning under any circumstance, even the most miserable ones. This belief was not formed in the comfort of a therapist's chair, but amidst the harrowing environment of concentration camps. It was here, amidst unthinkable adversity, that Frankl observed a striking phenomenon. Those who could find some meaning or purpose in their suffering were more resilient, enduring the horrors with a strength that seemed almost superhuman. In many ways, the individuals who dared to seek meaning in the bleakness of the camps played the role of the fool. They defied the external narrative that sought to strip them of their humanity, choosing instead to listen to the internal voice that whispered of purpose and significance. They were foolish enough to dream, to hope, and to find fragments of meaning even in the direst of circumstances. This is where the crux of the art of being a fool intersects with Frankl's insights. Pursuing one's dreams often requires a similar foolishness, the audacity to seek personal meaning and purpose despite external circumstances or societal expectations. Whether these external pressures come in the form of societal norms, adverse conditions, or external naysayers, the challenge remains. To stay true to one's inner compass, to prioritize personal meaning over external dictates. Frankl himself exemplified this. Despite the dehumanizing conditions of the camps, he held on to the dream of reuniting with his family and sharing his insights with the world. He mentally drafted what would later become his seminal work, Man's Search for Meaning, using scraps of paper and stolen moments of reflection. In the contemporary world, the challenges we face might be different from the horrors Frankl endured, but the central dilemma remains. We are often pulled between societal expectations, the well-trodden paths, the prescribed definitions of success, and our search for personal meaning. Here, playing the fool becomes an act of courage. It involves prioritizing personal meaning over societal accolades, seeking significance in paths less trodden, and often embracing dreams that might seem irrational or impractical to the external world. Frankl's logotherapy teaches us that our well-being, resilience, and even our mental health are intricately linked to this pursuit of meaning. When we align our dreams with our personal sense of purpose, we don't just achieve external milestones, we fulfill an inner calling. We experience a joy that is profound, a satisfaction that is deep-rooted. Viktor Frankl's life and teachings offer a beacon of hope and a roadmap for all those embarking on the journey of dream pursuit. His insights remind us that true fulfillment doesn't lie in societal validations or external achievements, but in the alignment of our actions with our personal sense of meaning. The fool, in the context of Frankl's philosophy, is the individual who dares to defy external chaos, who seeks meaning even when it's hidden in adversity, and who, amidst the noise of societal voices, listens intently to the inner whisper of purpose. In our continued exploration of the art of being a fool, Viktor Frankl stands as a testament to the strength of the human spirit and the transformative power of personal meaning. His legacy urges us to be foolish enough to prioritize our inner calling, to seek meaning amidst chaos, and to chase dreams with a tenacity rooted in purpose. Ralph Waldo Emerson, the 19th century American philosopher, essayist, and poet, stands as an emblematic figure in the realm of transcendentalism and individualism. His ideas, expressed most vividly in his essay, Self-Reliance, have not only shaped American thought but have also offered invaluable insights into the dynamics of personal autonomy, non-conformity, and the spirit of chasing dreams. Emerson's philosophy provides another fascinating layer to our exploration of the art of being a fool. Emerson's essay, Self-Reliance, begins with a striking proclamation. Trust thyself, every heart vibrates to that iron string. At its heart, the essay is a call to arms for individuals to trust their inner voices and intuitions. For Emerson, to be self-reliant is to embrace one's thoughts, values, and beliefs without being unduly influenced by societal norms or external pressures. One of the essay's most compelling assertions is that society often conspires to rob individuals of their autonomy. By imposing its conventions, norms, and definitions of success, society can divert individuals from their genuine paths. This leads to a life lived not according to one's innate calling but according to societal dictates. A core component of self-reliance is the idea of non-conformity. Emerson argues against the societal pressure to conform, to fit into pre-established molds. He writes, "Whoso would be a man must be a nonconformist." By this, he doesn't merely suggest rebellion for rebellion's sake, but underscores the importance of authentic self-expression. This nonconformity, in the context of our discussion, closely aligns with the notion of being a fool. It involves the courage to be seen as different, to risk being labeled eccentric or odd, and to follow one's dreams even when they diverge from societal expectations. To Emerson, such foolishness is not a flaw but a virtue. It signifies an individual's commitment to their inner convictions over external validation. Central to Emerson's philosophy is the emphasis on intuition. He believed that each individual possesses an inner compass, a guiding light that illuminates their unique path. While reason and logic have their place, it's this intuition, this gut feeling, that should guide our actions, particularly when it comes to significant life decisions and dream pursuit. In chasing our dreams, relying on this intuition might often lead us down unconventional paths. These are paths that might not always align with societal standards, paths that might seem foolish to the external observer. Yet, as Emerson argues, it's precisely this foolishness, this unwavering trust in one's inner voice, that can lead to genuine fulfillment and profound achievements. When we examine Emerson's ideas of self-reliance to the context of chasing dreams, several insights emerge. Genuine dreams versus societal impositions. Often what we perceive as our dreams are, in reality, societal impositions, aspirations shaped not by our inner desires, but by external narratives. Emerson's call for self-reliance prompts us to introspect, to discern which of our dreams are genuinely ours, and which are reflections of societal expectations. To chase authentic dreams is to risk being seen as a fool. It's to venture into the unknown, driven not by the promise of societal accolades, but by the allure of personal fulfillment. Emerson's emphasis on nonconformity reminds us that this risk, this foolishness, is worth it. In the journey towards our dreams, there will be crossroads, moments of doubt, and challenges. Here, Emerson's emphasis on intuition serves as a guiding light. It reminds us to trust our inner compass, to let our genuine feelings and instincts chart our course. Ralph Waldo Emerson's philosophy offers a refreshing perspective in today's world, where societal pressures and external validations often overshadow personal desires and intuitions. His ideas on self-reliance serve as a clarion call, urging us to embrace our individuality, to cherish our unique dreams, and to chase them with a fervor that is undeterred by societal judgments. In the dance of aspirations, there will always be external voices, melodies that seek to dictate our steps and rhythms. Yet, as Emerson's wisdom suggests, it's the internal tune, the unique beat of our heart, that should guide our dance. In the continued exploration of the art of being a fool, Emerson stands as a beacon, illuminating the virtues of nonconformity, the strength inherent in genuine self-reliance, and the transformative power of following one's dreams. He beckons us to be foolish enough to trust ourselves, to prioritize our inner voice, and to embark on the enchanting journey of authentic dream pursuit. Paulo Coelho's The Alchemist has captivated readers worldwide with its enchanting narrative and profound philosophical insights. While the book is filled with numerous themes, ranging from love to fate, one of its core messages centers around the pursuit of one's personal legend. Through Santiago's journey, Paulo not only offers readers a literary adventure but also a profound lesson on the value of following one's dreams, even if it means being perceived as a fool. Santiago's journey begins with a recurring dream of a child telling him to find treasure at the foot of the Egyptian pyramids. This dream, dismissed by many as mere fancy or illusion, serves as the catalyst for Santiago's grand adventure. Herein lies the first lesson. Dreams, however unfeasible they may seem, often carry profound truths and directions for our lives. While many would have dismissed such a dream as trivial, Santiago, playing the fool, chooses to pursue it, signaling the start of his odyssey. Paulo introduces the concept of a personal legend as the utmost desire of the heart, the dream or goal that a person feels is their mission in life. Everyone, according to him, knows their personal legend at a young age, but as they grow, societal expectations, fear of failure, and various other distractions cause them to lose sight of this dream. Santiago, as a shepherd, could have easily settled into the comfortable rhythm of his life. Yet, the pull of his personal legend, the desire to decipher his dream, propels him into the unknown. His journey, filled with unexpected challenges and encounters, mirrors the journey anyone undertakes when they decide to pursue their deepest aspirations. To the external world, Santiago's journey might seem foolhardy, giving up the certainty of his life, selling his sheep, and venturing into foreign lands on the whim of a dream. It surely seems like the act of a fool. Yet, Coelho's narrative underscores that it's this very foolishness, this audacious spirit, that's essential for true self-discovery and realization of one's personal legend. As Santiago encounters the alchemist, The story delves deeper into the spiritual and philosophical aspects of pursuing one's dreams. The alchemist tells him, people learn early in their lives what is their reason for being, and that very few follow the path laid out for them, the path to their personal legends, to their happiness. This reinforces the idea that many, fearing the label of fool, choose the comfort of the known over the uncertainty and magic of chasing their dreams. While alchemy traditionally centers around turning base metals into gold, Paulo uses it as a metaphor for personal transformation. Santiago's journey isn't just about physical travel, it's about his inner evolution, his metamorphosis as he inches closer to his personal legend. This transformation is essential for anyone on the path of their dreams. It involves shedding old beliefs, embracing new wisdom, and continually evolving in the quest for one's deepest aspirations. Santiago's journey comes full circle when he realizes that the treasure he sought was not just physical, but also metaphysical. The real treasure was the wisdom he gained, the understanding of his heart's true desires, and the realization that the journey itself, with all its challenges and detours, was as valuable as the destination. Coelho seems to suggest that in the pursuit of our personal legends, while the end goal is crucial, the journey, the experiences, the transformations, and the wisdom gained are equally, if not more, valuable. Paulo Coelho, through the narrative of Santiago, offers a compelling exploration of the art of being a fool. It's a reminder that often, the path to our deepest desires, our personal legends, requires us to embrace the unconventional, to risk ridicule, and to journey into the unknown. In the dance between destiny and free will, between dreams and reality, the alchemist stands as a beacon, illuminating the power of faith, the beauty of the journey, and the transformative magic of chasing one's dreams. In a world that often values pragmatism over passion, the alchemist is a clarion call to all dreamers, urging them to embrace their foolishness, to trust the whispers of their hearts, and to embark on the sacred journey of realizing their personal legends. It's not just a tale of Santiago's Odyssey, it's an invitation to every reader, every individual, to embark on their own journey of self-discovery, dream pursuit, and personal alchemy. In this exploration of the intricate dance between dreams and daring, between folly and fulfillment, we've traversed the thoughts of some of history's most profound thinkers and storytellers. Each of these luminaries, in their unique ways, beckons us towards a singular truth, the inestimable power of embracing our inner fool. From Santiago's relentless pursuit of his personal legend in Coelho's The Alchemist, to Nietzsche's bold conception of the Übermensch who dares to craft his own values. From Jung's insightful revelations about the shadow and individuation, to Emerson's impassioned advocacy for self-reliance, each narrative and philosophical stance paints the portrait of a world where dreams aren't just fleeting fantasies, but profound prophecies guiding us towards our authentic selves. Dreaming, as we've gleaned, isn't merely an act of whimsy, it's an act of rebellion. It's a challenge to societal structures, a defiance against the mundane, and most importantly, a courageous commitment to oneself. Daring to dream is akin to launching a silent yet powerful revolution against conformity. The fool in each of us isn't a marker of naivete or ignorance, rather it's a symbol of audacity, of the capacity to venture beyond the familiar horizons and dive into the vast oceans of the unknown. The world often demands of us a straight path, a predictable trajectory filled with safe choices and sound decisions. However, as Socrates' profound assertion reminds us, true wisdom might reside in acknowledging the vastness of what we don't know, in questioning the norms, and in realizing the profound freedom that this humility brings. It grants us the license to be foolish, to question the unquestionable, and to etch our paths on the sands of time. Viktor Frankl, with his incisive insights on logotherapy, further illuminates this discourse, revealing that our deepest yearnings are often tethered to our search for meaning. This search, in all its profundity, frequently demands from us the bravery to be foolish, to look beyond the immediate and tangible, seeking that which truly resonates with the core of our being. In essence, the fool is not the one who dreams, but perhaps the one who, fearing ridicule or failure, suppresses those dreams. For in dreams we find not just hope, but direction, not just aspiration, but purpose. To be foolish is to have the audacity to believe in oneself, to trust in the journey, and to realize that the path, with all its twists and turns, is as significant as the destination. So, as we conclude this odyssey through thought, philosophy, and narrative, let's carry with us the vibrant tapestry of insights we've gathered. Let's honor the fool within, recognizing its power, its wisdom, and its unparalleled courage. For in the art of being a fool lies the art of truly living, of dreaming, daring, and defying the boundaries that confine us. Embrace that inner fool, for in its embrace lies the promise of a life lived in technicolor, rich with dreams, drenched in passion, and driven by purpose. In every epic tale, from ancient legends to modern blockbusters, a protagonist embarks on a transformative journey, a transition from youthful naivety to the wisdom of maturity, a story of becoming. But what if this journey, this very rite of passage, seems interrupted, delayed, or even halted? What if Peter Pan chose never to leave Neverland? The world is changing. We're living in an era where the age-old rituals and traditions that once signposted our pathway from childhood to adulthood have either evolved or disappeared entirely. Gone are the days when manhood's rites of passage were clearly defined, when milestones such as leaving home, securing steady employment, or starting a family were the common signifiers of having grown up. Enter the 21st century, and we encounter a peculiar phenomenon, a substantial group of young men who, in many ways, appeared to remain stuck in a perpetual state of adolescence. This isn't a mere stereotype portrayed in sitcoms or joked about at family gatherings. It's a societal reality with tangible implications impacting economies, family structures, and the individual psyches of those caught in its wake. The numbers speak for themselves. As of the last few decades, we've seen a significant spike in the number of young men, particularly those in their 20s and 30s, still living at home. In the United States alone, the Pew Research Center reported in 2020 that a staggering 52% of young adults resided with one or both of their parents, a percentage not witnessed since the Great Depression era. But it isn't just about living arrangements. Employment rates, too, paint a worrying picture. The labor force participation rate among young men has been on a consistent decline. While several factors contribute to this, from automation to global economic shifts, the personal narratives often revolve around feelings of disenfranchisement or a perceived lack of opportunity. Many express feeling outmatched, outpaced, and often out of place. More than just economical, the emotional and psychological landscapes of these men reveal signs of developmental delays. A survey from the American Psychological Association indicated a rise in reported feelings of loneliness, aimlessness, and a sense of being stuck among this demographic. Traditional markers of adulthood seem to elude them, not just in achieving them, but often in even desiring them. Now, these statistics and observations aren't meant to berate or criticize. They're a call to understand, to empathize, and more critically to seek solutions. If we're to aid these young men in their passage to maturity, we first need to fathom the depths of this modern enigma. So why is this happening? Why, in an age of unprecedented information and opportunity, do so many young men feel lost in the labyrinth of adulthood? It's tempting to lay blame on contemporary culture or the whims of the new generation, but that's an oversimplified answer to a multifaceted puzzle. To truly dissect this quandary, we need to dig deeper. We need to tap into the wellspring of knowledge left behind by some of history's most astute observers of the human condition, our philosophers, psychologists, and mythologists. What lessons, warnings, or guidance did they leave behind that might illuminate our path? How did ancient societies navigate the murky waters of manhood? What does our current societal structure contribute to this conundrum? And can age-old myths, like those elucidated by Joseph Campbell, offer a mirror to today's young man, lost in his own hero's journey? Join us as we delve into this intriguing exploration, seeking not just answers, but also strategies to reignite the ageless fire of growth, responsibility, and maturity. Because every young man deserves his hero's journey, and every society benefits from the stories of those who've walked the path before. Joseph Campbell, a name synonymous with mythology and the human experience, crafted a framework that transcends time, geography, and culture. This framework is known as the monomyth, a singular narrative underlying countless myths, legends, and stories from every corner of the globe. At its heart, it's not merely a scholarly concept, it's a mirror to our own lives, our trials, and our transformations. Campbell once said, "Myths are public dreams, dreams are private myths." In stating this, he highlighted that the tales that have endured centuries, even millennia, share a common structure because they reflect the shared experiences of humanity. Whether it's the quests of Greek heroes, the spiritual journeys in ancient Indian texts, or the adventures of modern superheroes, the same pattern emerges over and over. This pattern, as Campbell identified, is the hero's journey. To delve into the hero's journey, we must first appreciate its three distinct phases: separation, initiation, and return. Separation marks the beginning, where the hero departs from the familiar world. It's a moment of disruption, where the status quo is challenged. Sometimes this separation is voluntary, other times it's forced upon the hero. Think of Luke Skywalker's humble beginnings on Tatooine, far removed from the vast expanse of the galaxy, until an unexpected turn of events pushes him onto a path of destiny. For many young men, this phase is analogous to leaving home for the first time, starting college, or stepping into the workforce. It's an uncomfortable yet essential rift from the familiar. The second phase, initiation, encompasses the heart of the journey. Here, the hero faces numerous challenges, meeting allies and adversaries, experiencing both defeats and triumphs. This is the phase of growth, where skills are honed, beliefs are questioned, and identity is forged. Campbell's emphasis on this phase is crucial. It's not the destination but the journey that molds the hero. In the context of our young men, think of the myriad challenges of adulthood: establishing a career, building meaningful relationships, grappling with failures, and celebrating personal achievements. These experiences, both bitter and sweet, are the crucibles in which their maturity is tested and tempered. Finally, the return. After facing the ordeals, after growing and evolving, the hero must return to the familiar world, bringing back the wisdom and the gifts acquired from the journey. This is not merely a physical return. It's a symbolic homecoming, marking the hero's transformation from who they once were to who they've become. For young adults, this might symbolize achieving a level of stability, perhaps starting a family, or simply realizing a deeper understanding of themselves and their place in the world.
The rituals of initiation of young men in some of the very simple societies are extremely interesting. The boys are brought up to be in fear of the masks that the men wear in their rituals. These are the gods. These are the personifications of the powers that structure the society. The boy, when he gets to be more than his mother can handle, the men come in with their masks or whatever their costume is, and they grab the kid, and he thinks he's been taken by the gods, taken out into the men's ground, and he's beaten up and everything else. But then there, in New Guinea, there's a wonderful, wonderful event where this poor kid has to stand up and fight a man with a mask. I'd say he's fighting the god. The man lets the kid win. Takes the mask off, puts it on the kid. Now the mask is not there defeated and simply said, oh, this is just myth. It said the mask represents the power that is shaping the society and has shaped you, and now you are a representative of that power. That's a big story. And there are quite a number of examples around the world. Down in Tierra del Fuego, the Ona people down there had rituals of this kind where the kid had to get up and fight this god power that he'd always been afraid of. And the man put up a good fight for the kid, you know, but then the boy won. Now you're a man. You've broken past the image as fact and understand the image as metaphor. And you are to represent what the metaphor stands for.
How does the hero's journey reflect the path of today's young men to adulthood? An intriguing observation is that many seem trapped in the initiation phase. While they have separated from their childhood, they grapple with the trials and tribulations of the initiation without seeming to find their way out. The dragons they face aren't mythical beasts, but rather societal pressures, personal insecurities, economic uncertainties, and often a lack of clear purpose or direction. Their battles are silent, internal, and often unacknowledged. Several reasons can explain this prolonged initiation. The modern world, with its overwhelming choices, can induce a paralysis of sorts. Traditional milestones of adulthood may seem elusive due to shifting societal norms. The digital age, with its constant comparisons on social media platforms, can exacerbate feelings of inadequacy or being left behind. The journey, which in myths was often simplified with clear adversaries and challenges, has become more abstract, more internalized. While ancient heroes had mentors, guiding figures offering wisdom and direction, many young men today feel they're navigating their journey without a compass. In the absence of these guides, the roadmap to the return phase remains obscure. However, recognizing this prolonged initiation is the first step to addressing it. By understanding where they stand on their hero's journey, young men can seek out the mentors, the experiences, and the wisdom they need to progress towards their personal return. The beauty of Campbell's framework is not just in its analysis, but its inherent hope. Every hero, no matter the odds, has the potential for triumph. In understanding this journey and recognizing its universal applicability, society too can play its part. By fostering environments of understanding, by providing resources and guidance, and by acknowledging the unique challenges of modern adulthood, we can help guide our young men to complete their hero's journey. After all, every hero deserves a triumphant return.
Again, in New Guinea, there's a ritual where the kid is, his eyes are covered by the initiating man, and the bull roarer comes over and he tells him, now the demon, dragon, grandpa is coming to eat you. He thinks he's a goner. That's the Liebestod idea that Wagner handles, you see. You think you're dead, and bing, you've broken past it. You've got a new, expanded life. You're bigger. What has died has been the infantile ego. We, until we're pretty well along, 12, 13, 14, are utterly dependent on our parents and on our society. So a psychology of dependency is developed. A psychology of submission, asking for approval, expecting reproof, and all this sort of thing. But how are we going to break out of that psychological bondage into self-responsible authority, courage for what our thoughts are on our life? This is the problem of killing the infantile ego, which is one of dependency, and coming into the mature ego of authority.
Every myth, legend, or fable that resonates with us has a pivotal moment, the confrontation with the dragon. For Campbell, this dragon isn't just a beast in the tales of yore. It is the manifestation of our deepest fears, challenges, and doubts. It's a symbolic representation of those formidable obstacles we must overcome to realize our full potential. For young men navigating the maze of modern adulthood, these dragons take on very personal, very real forms. The first such dragon many young men confront is fear. The world outside the familiar cocoon of adolescence is fraught with uncertainty. The fear of not being good enough, of failing, of not living up to societal benchmarks can be paralyzing. With the information deluge of the digital age, this fear is amplified. Every success story they see on social media, every peer who seems to be leagues ahead, stokes the fire of this fear. It's the gnawing doubt whispering, what if I'm not cut out for this, or what if I never find my way? Then there's the gargantuan dragon of societal pressures, the tapestry of society woven with threads of expectations, norms, and judgments can be stifling. When will you settle down? Isn't it time you had a stable job? When will we see you with someone? These questions, while seemingly innocuous, bear weight. The societal blueprint of what a successful adulthood looks like can be both a guide and a shackle. It's a constant reminder of the milestones they haven't achieved, the checkboxes still unticked. Lastly, the perhaps most daunting dragon is that of personal insecurities. These are the scars and wounds from past experiences, the internalized criticisms, and the self-deprecating beliefs that become barriers to growth. It's the voice that says, you're not smart enough, not strong enough, not worthy enough. This dragon, silent yet powerful, casts a shadow over their journey, often redirecting their path or halting it altogether. But as Campbell elucidated, the dragon isn't just an adversary, it's an opportunity. Confronting the dragon isn't just about vanquishing an external challenge, it's a profound moment of internal growth. By facing their fears, by challenging societal norms, and by healing personal insecurities, young men don't just progress on their journey, they transform. This confrontation is more than a battle, it's a rite of passage. It's the chrysalis from which they emerge, not as boys, but as men who've embraced their true selves. But what does this true self look like? Campbell's wisdom suggests it's the discovery of one's own personal legend or unique calling. To borrow from another great thinker who wrote The Alchemist, the personal legend is what you have always wanted to accomplish. It's that innermost dream, untainted by external expectations or societal molds. Finding this legend isn't about meeting benchmarks set by others, but about aligning with one's inner compass. In the cacophony of modern life, amidst the myriad voices telling them who they should be, the challenge for young men is to find and listen to their own voice. It's about asking, who am I, separate from what the world wants me to be? This introspection, this journey inward, is perhaps the most critical step towards true adulthood. Because maturity isn't just about age or external achievements, it's about recognizing and honoring one's essence. Embracing this personal legend means shedding the weight of expectations and forging one's own path. It's about understanding that real success isn't measured by societal yardsticks but by the alignment between one's actions and one's truth. Every young man's legend will be unique, and that's the beauty of it. Whether it's pursuing a passion, making a difference, or simply finding contentment, this legend is the beacon guiding them through the murkiness of life's challenges. As we ponder Campbell's wisdom, the takeaway is clear. Facing the dragons isn't an ordeal to dread, but a gateway to growth. And the true mark of adulthood isn't just age or milestones, but the courage to chase one's personal legend, even if it veers off the trodden path. For in the end, it's these unique journeys, these individual legends, that enrich the tapestry of humanity, offering hope and inspiration for the heroes yet to embark on their quests. To understand the journey of young men today, it's enlightening to cast our gaze back in time. Ancient societies, with their structured norms and distinct values, offer a contrasting backdrop to modernity's fluid landscape. Among the luminaries of ancient civilizations, the Greeks and Romans stand tall, both for their monumental achievements and their intricate societal tapestry. By delving into their perspectives on manhood and responsibility, we gain a deeper appreciation for the timeless essence of adulthood and its ever-evolving challenges. In the heart of ancient Greece, manhood wasn't just an age marker. It was a profound transition entailing duties, honor, and societal roles. A boy's transition to a man wasn't simply heralded by physical maturity. The Greeks held a holistic view, encapsulating the spiritual, mental, and civic evolution. The ephibia, a rite of passage for Athenian boys, epitomizes this multifaceted transition. Beginning at around the age of 18, this rite wasn't just a ceremonial observance. It was an intricate process of training, spanning physical regimen, civic duties, and spiritual introspection. Throughout their ephibia, young men learned the arts of war, the nuances of governance, and the profound philosophies that Greece is celebrated for. It was a transformative journey, molding not just warriors, but thinkers, leaders, and citizens. Completing this rite wasn't just about individual growth, it was a covenant to society, a pledge of service and responsibility. In their world, a man's worth wasn't gauged by personal achievements alone, but by his contribution to the city-state. Their legends, from the valorous Achilles to the wise Odysseus, further underscored this duality of personal prowess and societal commitment. The Romans, inheriting and expanding upon Greek traditions, had their distinct flavor of manhood. In the heart of Rome, the transition from boy to man was symbolized through the toga virilis. When a boy donned this toga of manhood, usually around the age of 16, it wasn't just a sartorial choice, it was a profound metamorphosis. This change of attire marked his entrance into public life, his readiness to partake in the intricate dance of Roman politics, commerce, and society. Beyond attire, Roman manhood was defined by virtues. Derived from vir, meaning man, was the embodiment of courage, valor, and excellence. But alongside virtues, other virtues like gravitas, a sense of duty, pietas, duty to the gods and family, and dignitas, a sense of personal worth, were pillars upon which Roman manhood stood. These virtues were instilled, tested, and honed through military service, public offices, and societal engagements. A Roman man's journey was one of perpetual growth, where every role, be it as a soldier, a senator, or a father, was a stepping stone to deeper wisdom and greater responsibility. The rites of passage and challenges these ancient young men faced were, in essence, societal crucibles. These rituals ensured that the young men not only matured as individuals, but emerged as pillars of their communities. Whether it was defending their homeland, participating in civic duties, or simply upholding familial honor, their adulthood was a tapestry of personal and societal threads interwoven tightly. In contrast to our modern era, where the benchmarks of adulthood are increasingly individualistic and varied, the ancients had clear, structured milestones. but at their core, the challenges remain eerily similar. The quest for identity, the balance between personal desires and societal expectations, and the yearning for purpose are constants across time. In drawing parallels and contrasts with these ancient civilizations, we glean insights for our contemporary maze of manhood. Perhaps the lesson is that while the markers of adulthood evolve, its essence remains immutable. It's a balance between self and society, between personal legend and communal duty. The rites may change, the challenges may wear different masks, but the journey, in its depth and complexity, remains a timeless human endeavor. As the sands of time have ebbed, the canvas of manhood has undergone considerable shifts, particularly evident in the realm of the modern age. Today's young men navigate a terrain starkly different from the structured labyrinths of ancient Greece and Rome. The societal crucibles, once defined by clear rites and communal virtues, are now overshadowed by multifaceted challenges birthed from rapid societal, economic, and educational transformations. Foremost among these transformations is the paradigm shift in education. No longer is education a brief transitional phase. It's an elongated journey, often stretching well into the mid-20s or even 30s for some. In ancient societies, by the time a man was in his early 20s, he had already shouldered significant responsibilities. Today, however, that same age might find a young man engrossed in tertiary education, grappling with the intricacies of specialized disciplines, or navigating the demanding corridors of graduate schools. The consequence? A delayed plunge into the working world. This prolongation of academic life creates a ripple effect, postponing not just financial independence, but often other markers of adulthood like marriage, home ownership, or even clarity of purpose. The economic landscape further compounds these delays. Unlike the agrarian or localized economies of yore, today's globalized economy is both an avenue of boundless opportunities and a minefield of unpredictable challenges. Housing, once a straightforward milestone, is now a complex pursuit, with skyrocketing real estate prices in urban hubs. The dream of owning a piece of land, a staple of the proverbial American dream, feels increasingly elusive for many. The job market, too, bears little resemblance to its predecessors. The linear careers of the past have fragmented into a mosaic of gig economies, temporary contracts, and a constant race to upskill in the face of automation and AI. Economic crises, be it the financial meltdown of 2008 or the pervasive ramifications of the COVID-19 pandemic, cast long shadows on job security and financial stability. For a young man today, charting a course in this tumultuous economic sea requires more than diligence. It demands adaptability, resilience, and a penchant for lifelong learning. Parallel to these economic and educational tectonic shifts, the fabric of relationships, family, and marriage has undergone profound transformation. The once sacrosanct institution of marriage, often an early milestone in a man's life, has seen its timeline pushed. With shifting societal priorities, many young men and women prioritize personal growth, career ambitions, and individual pursuits before settling into marital commitments. The notion of family, too, is ever evolving. Nuclear families, single-parent households, or even chosen families of close friends redefine what home means in the 21st century. Moreover, the dynamics of relationships have adapted to the digital age. In a world where love can spark across continents through screens and where relationships might begin or end with the swipe of a finger, the rules of engagement are continually being rewritten. These changes, while offering unprecedented freedom and choices, also bring forth new challenges. The paradox of choice, the quest for authentic connections in a digital age, and the balancing act between personal independence and shared responsibilities in partnerships. In this modern tableau, young men find themselves juggling an array of roles, expectations, and challenges. Where the ancients had clear demarcated rites of passage, today's journey to adulthood is more fluid, less defined, and often punctuated with a series of mini-rites spanning decades. Yet, beneath these complexities, the underlying quest remains unchanged: the search for identity, purpose, and a rightful place in the societal mosaic. Navigating the complex waters of contemporary masculinity, a term frequently emerges, encapsulating both a cultural archetype and a tangible reflection of our era, the Peter Pan syndrome. This term, much like its namesake from J.M. Barrie's timeless tale, embodies the reluctance to grow up. It paints a picture of individuals trapped in the buoyant bliss of childhood, feet afloat, eyes averse to the shores of adulthood. But is it a mere metaphor, or does it find roots in deeper psychological underpinnings? Let's embark on a journey through its facets, origins, and implications. The Peter Pan syndrome, at its core, can be characterized by a profound resistance to the responsibilities of adult life. Individuals grappling with this condition often showcase a palpable fear of commitment, whether in relationships, careers, or personal goals. Their lives, rather than charting a definitive trajectory, seem to meander through a labyrinth of short-lived passions, fleeting relationships, and evasive responsibilities. The allure of the now overshadows the promises and perils of the tomorrow. An insatiable quest for pleasure, instant gratification, and an aversion to enduring hardships often punctuate their daily choices. Yet while these attributes paint a vivid portrait, one must tread carefully. Is the Peter Pan syndrome a genuine clinical condition, or is it more of a societal construct? In the clinical realm, while it isn't recognized as a standalone disorder in major diagnostic manuals, certain traits associated with it mirror those found in conditions like avoidant personality disorder or certain types of narcissistic personality disorder. These overlapping characteristics include difficulty committing, avoiding responsibility, or seeking constant validation. Yet it's crucial to distinguish between genuine clinical conditions and behavior patterns influenced by societal and cultural factors. Labeling the latter as pathological can risk oversimplifying and stigmatizing complex behavioral phenomena. Delving into the causal pathways, multiple threads emerge, weaving a tapestry both intricate and intriguing. One significant strand is the rise of overprotective parenting. The helicopter parent, always hovering, shielding their progeny from life's bumps and scrapes, can inadvertently foster a sense of invulnerability in their children. When challenges arise, these individuals, cocooned for years, find themselves ill-equipped to tackle them, leading to avoidance and escapism. Societal changes, as elucidated in our discussion on modern shifts, further compound this. The era of abundant choice, while empowering, can also lead to decision paralysis. When every door is open, stepping through one becomes daunting. The fear of missing out, a distinctly modern malaise, can trap individuals in a perpetual state of indecision, further fueling their Peter Pan tendencies. Inherent personality traits too play their part. Just as some are natural-born leaders or innately curious, others might lean towards comfort, risk aversion, or a heightened need for immediate gratification. While societal constructs or parenting styles can amplify these tendencies, they often have deep-seated roots in an individual's personality matrix. In our exploration of the Peter Pan syndrome, we unearth its layered nuances, origins, and intersections with both personal and societal dynamics. As we step back and view the broader canvas, we understand that it's not just an isolated phenomenon, but a reflection of the evolving nature of adulthood and societal expectations. Addressing it, therefore, is not a matter of mere diagnosis, but a call for societal introspection, understanding, and empathy. As we continue our journey into the psyche of modern manhood, It's essential to approach such phenomena with both critical thought and an open heart, fostering an environment where growth is both encouraged and nurtured. Amidst the myriad analyses of young men's inertia towards adulthood, it becomes essential to step into the domain where questions of existence, meaning, and identity hold sway: philosophy. Existentialism, a philosophical movement rooted in understanding individual existence and freedom, presents a compelling lens through which to view this conundrum. At its heart lies a concept that resonates deeply with the challenges of modern manhood: authenticity. Existential authenticity is not just a mere understanding of oneself, it's about embracing one's freedom and the associated responsibilities. It's the acknowledgement that our existence is not predetermined, that we have the freedom to shape our destiny, and that in this freedom lies both our greatest strength and our deepest vulnerabilities. To be authentic is to be true to oneself, even when faced with life's inherent absurdities and the weight of external expectations. The theater of existentialism finds one of its most brilliant playwrights in Jean-Paul Sartre. For Sartre, the world is a stage where humans are condemned to be free. This freedom, boundless and intimidating, brings with it the anguish of choice. Yet it is within this freedom that the pitfalls of bad faith lurk. Bad faith is a form of self-deception. It's the act of lying to oneself, of evading the truth of one's freedom and the responsibilities it entails. When one lives in bad faith, they adopt false values, embrace societal roles without question, and avoid the sheer responsibility of carving their own path. Let's relate this to the hesitation, the fears of commitment, and the shirking of responsibilities often seen in young men today. Could it be that many are living in bad faith, veering away from the intimidating vastness of their own freedom? The societal templates of success, relationships, and manhood might seem enticing because they offer a semblance of structure in an otherwise chaotic existence. Adhering to these templates without introspection is a manifestation of bad faith. It's akin to wearing a mask, a guise that veils the intimidating freedom beneath. The fear of commitment, the allure of the transient, and the evasion of responsibility can all be seen as attempts to escape the weight of this freedom. After all, to commit, to decide, to shoulder responsibility is to confront one's freedom head-on. It's to mold the clay of existence with one's own hands, even at the risk of shaping it imperfectly. Existentialism, with its emphasis on individual freedom and authenticity, beckons one to cast away the chains of bad faith and embrace the liberating, albeit daunting, truth of one's existence. It's a clarion call to young men, urging them to shed societal masks, to confront their fears, and to sculpt their destiny with the chisel of authenticity. In this philosophical exploration, existentialism bridges the gap between ancient wisdom and modern dilemmas. Through Sartre's lens, the challenges faced by young men are not just personal or societal, but deeply existential. The journey to adulthood, then, is not just about societal milestones. It's about embracing one's freedom, facing life's inherent absurdities, and seeking a path illuminated by authenticity. Media is undeniably one of the most potent architects of cultural zeitgeist. Films, TV shows, and broader pop culture narratives seep into the collective consciousness, subtly sculpting perceptions and expectations. Within this vast tapestry of tales lies a dual narrative. On one hand, the archetypical hero's journey, a voyage of challenges, growth, and eventual triumph. On the other, an emerging narrative of perpetual adolescence, where the tribulations of growth are swapped for the allure of eternal youth. Let's delve into this dichotomy, exploring how media's portrayal of manhood can either invigorate aspirations or entrench escapist tendencies. The hero's journey, as outlined by Joseph Campbell, can be discerned in countless cinematic epics and literary classics. Whether it's Luke Skywalker traversing galaxies or Frodo Baggins journeying through Middle-earth, these characters exemplify the paradigmatic path from innocence through trials to triumphant self-realization. Their narratives are defined by transformation, an arc that resonates deeply with our inherent yearning for growth and purpose. Yet, side by side with these illustrious arcs, contemporary media has birthed a contrasting breed of male protagonists, not the heroes who confront dragons, but the eternal adolescents trapped in a temporal stasis. Shows like The Big Bang Theory or movies like The 40-Year-Old Virgin present protagonists who, while endearing, are often ensnared in perpetual boyhood. Their challenges are not monstrous dragons, but mundane dilemmas. Their victories lie not in transformative growth, but in small, often comedic evolutions. The pendulum, it seems, has swung from active heroes facing external adversities to more passive observers navigating internal quandaries. This rise of the endless adolescent trope is not without allure. There's a comforting charm in watching characters navigate a world devoid of dire stakes, a world where every mistake is redeemable and every day promises the glee of boyhood. Yet therein lies the seduction of escapism. If tales of heroic feats inspire aspirations, stories of prolonged adolescence offer a cushion against the thorns of reality. For many young men, this portrayal can act as a soothing balm, legitimizing the delay in confronting life's complexities. The whimsical adventures of on-screen Peter Pans can, subtly, lower the bar for real-world ambitions. Furthermore, media's amplification of escapism isn't merely limited to narratives. The very fabric of modern entertainment, with its sprawling video game universes, binge-worthy series, and virtual realities, beckons one to retreat from the tangible world. When virtual victories, be it in conquering game levels or in curating perfect digital personas, offer immediate gratification, the slow, often arduous grind of real-world accomplishments can seem less appealing. However, it's crucial to discern that media isn't a monolithic entity imposing narratives. It's a mirror, reflecting society's evolving values, fears, and aspirations. The portrayal of perpetual adolescence, while potentially stymieing, can also be viewed as a commentary on modern society's complexity. It speaks to the myriad challenges of contemporary adulthood, from economic struggles to existential quandaries. The passive observer, trapped in adolescence, is as much a product of societal shifts as he is of media's crafting. In navigating the maze of modern manhood, media emerges both as a guide and a gatekeeper. While tales of heroism can kindle the flames of ambition, narratives of eternal youth can either offer solace or sow stagnation. The onus then lies with the discerning viewer, to draw inspiration from transformative tales and to view prolonged adolescence not as an ideal, but as a poignant commentary on our times. In this dance of narratives, it's pivotal to remember that every story, no matter how escapist, carries within it kernels of truth, reflections of the world it arises from. A fundamental element in the tapestry of human growth is the presence of guiding lights, individuals who, by virtue of their wisdom, experiences, and character, illuminate the path for others. Whether it's in the realm of sports, the corridors of academia, or the complex maze of personal development, role models and mentors play a pivotal role in shaping trajectories, aspirations, and values. This becomes particularly pronounced when navigating the transition from boyhood to manhood, a journey fraught with questions, challenges, and uncertainties. History, in its vast annals, presents numerous figures who epitomized not just excellence in their domains, but also profound wisdom on the art of living. Consider Seneca, the Stoic philosopher and statesman, While his political prowess was significant, it's his philosophical musings that have echoed through millennia. In his letters to Lucilius, Seneca delves into the very essence of manhood, emphasizing virtues like resilience, temperance, and clarity of purpose. He wrote, "Life is very short and anxious for those who forget the past, neglect the present, and fear the future." Here, Seneca isn't merely presenting a philosophical aphorism. He's delineating a roadmap for young men, urging them to embrace the present with vigor and purpose, unburdened by past regrets or future anxieties. In the same vein, Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor, penned his Meditations, a personal journal that crystallizes the essence of Stoic philosophy. Beyond his imperial duties, Marcus was a mentor in the written word, guiding countless readers through life's tempests. He emphasized virtues like humility, acceptance, and duty. Writing, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be one." In this simple directive, young men find a clarion call to action, an urging to embody virtues rather than merely extolling them. The wisdom of such historical figures is not just a testament to their personal brilliance, but a reflection of a society that revered the importance of mentorship. In ancient times, philosophers were not remote ivory tower intellectuals. They were integral parts of communities, guiding young individuals, shaping civic virtues, and molding future leaders. The tradition of mentorship was enshrined in the very fabric of societies, be it through formal apprenticeships or informal guidance. Fast forward to the present, and the canvas looks somewhat different. The modern age, with its dazzling technological marvels and rapid social shifts, offers young men a plethora of information but often lacks the wisdom that comes from personal, sustained mentorship. The cacophony of online voices can sometimes drown the nuanced, patient guidance that mentors traditionally provided. The surge of fleeting influencers might overshadow the timeless wisdom of genuine role models, yet, amidst this flux, the yearning for authentic guidance remains as potent as ever. There's an emerging realization of the paramount importance of strong mentors in today's fragmented society. Community leaders, educators, coaches, and even virtual mentors through online platforms are becoming pivotal anchors for the younger generation. These mentors provide more than just advice. They offer lived experiences, lessons distilled from failures, and a compassionate understanding of the unique challenges today's youth face. They serve as bridges, connecting young men with the timeless virtues of the past while equipping them to navigate the uncertainties of the present. The role of mentors and role models, whether from the pages of history or from contemporary society, cannot be overstated. They are the lighthouses, guiding young men through the foggy waters of adolescence into the vast ocean of adulthood. In their wisdom, patience, and experiences, young men find not just answers but also the right questions, not just direction but also purpose. As society evolves, rekindling the tradition of mentorship, adapting it to modern realities, and prioritizing authentic guidance will be pivotal in shaping the men of tomorrow. Transitioning from the tender phase of boyhood into the challenging terrain of adulthood is not a journey undertaken in isolation. It requires a supportive ecosystem, wherein the individual is constantly provided with tools, guidance, and markers that denote progress. In observing the phenomena of young men's delayed entry into adulthood, it becomes imperative to discuss actionable solutions that can guide them towards maturity. These solutions are woven into the very fabric of human society, rooted in traditions, but they need to be revitalized and reshaped to cater to the unique demands of contemporary times. Community as the crucible of growth. The proverb, "It takes a village to raise a child," is not just a poetic sentiment, but a profound truth. Historically, communities acted as safety nets, ensuring that their young were nurtured, educated, and integrated into the societal fold. Within the communal structure, Young men had access to a spectrum of role models, from the wise elder dispensing life lessons to the skilled artisan teaching a trade. They were surrounded by a milieu that constantly reinforced societal values, norms, and expectations. Today, the notion of community has evolved. With urbanization and technological advancements, there's a risk of atomization, where individuals feel isolated despite being hyperconnected digitally. To guide young men towards adulthood, there's a pressing need to reforge these community bonds. This could manifest in mentorship programs, local community initiatives, or group activities that foster teamwork, leadership, and a sense of belonging. By immersing young men in environments where they can observe, interact, and learn from varied individuals, we lay the groundwork for their holistic development. Structured challenges as catalysts. A consistent theme across cultures and epochs has been the idea of challenging the young as a rite of passage into adulthood. Whether it's the Spartan Agorge, where young boys were trained rigorously to become warriors, or the vision quests of Native American traditions, structured challenges have been instrumental in signaling the transition from boyhood to manhood. In the modern context, the nature of these challenges needs a redefinition. Instead of physical trials, the emphasis can be on intellectual, emotional, and moral challenges. Structured programs that push young men out of their comfort zones, be it through wilderness expeditions, volunteer work in unfamiliar territories, or intellectual debates, can act as crucibles for growth. Facing and overcoming these challenges not only builds resilience, but also instills a sense of accomplishment and self-worth, vital ingredients in the recipe for adulthood. Rites of passage. Human societies have always marked significant life transitions with ceremonies. These rites of passage are not mere cultural rituals. They psychologically and socially cement the transition from one phase of life to another. For young men, these rites can be instrumental in recognizing and celebrating their journey into adulthood. Contemporary society can innovate by creating new rites of passage. This might include ceremonies celebrating milestones like graduating, starting a first job, or even successfully undertaking a community project. By ceremonially recognizing these achievements, young men are provided with clear markers of their journey, reinforcing their progression and maturity. Philosophers, with their introspective depth, have often provided answers to pressing existential questions, laying down principles that transcend time and place. For young men grappling with the challenges of transitioning into adulthood in a rapidly changing world, philosophy offers not just solace but actionable wisdom. This wisdom revolves around three pivotal tenets: embracing responsibility, seeking personal meaning, and living authentically. One of the fundamental shifts from boyhood to manhood is the recognition and acceptance of personal responsibility. Philosophers from the Stoics of ancient Rome to existentialists like Jean-Paul Sartre have emphasized the centrality of responsibility in shaping one's destiny. Stoicism, with its emphasis on virtue and self-control, teaches young men to differentiate between things within their control and those outside it. As Epictetus proclaimed, men are disturbed not by things, but by the views which they take of them. By focusing on their sphere of influence and taking ownership of their actions and reactions, young men can cultivate a sense of agency, grounding their adulthood in self-reliance and purpose. Sartre, with his existentialist lens, went a step further, suggesting that humans are condemned to be free. This freedom carries the weight of absolute responsibility. For young men, this implies recognizing that their choices shape their essence, that they are architects of their fate. Such a realization can be overwhelming, but once embraced, it acts as a compass, directing them towards intentional, purpose-driven lives. Seeking personal meaning. In a world brimming with information, opportunities, and distractions, finding personal meaning can feel like navigating a labyrinth. Philosophers, however, provide a torchlight. Viktor Frankl, a Holocaust survivor and the mind behind logotherapy, posited that the primary human drive is not pleasure, as Freud suggested, but the pursuit of meaning. Frankl's Man's Search for Meaning is more than a book. It's a testament to the indomitable human spirit. For young men, it offers a profound lesson. That meaning is not passively received, but actively created. Whether it's through work, relationships, challenges, or creative endeavors, young men must forge their path, aligning their actions with their intrinsic values and aspirations. Such a quest for meaning provides direction, turning the uncertainty of youth into the clarity of adulthood. Living authentically. The philosophical idea of authenticity, particularly championed by existentialists, revolves around living in alignment with one's true self, unswayed by external pressures or societal facades. Authenticity is the antidote to the bad faith that Sartre discussed, the act of self-deception where individuals deny their freedom and responsibility. For young men, living authentically implies shedding societal masks, questioning inherited beliefs, and forging a path resonant with their core being. It means confronting the anxieties of freedom, the weight of responsibility, and the challenges of individuality, but emerging with a life that is genuinely theirs. It's an invitation to be active participants in their narrative, not passive observers. Guiding young men towards adulthood, while complex, can find a structured pathway in philosophy. By embracing responsibility, young men lay the foundations of a purposeful life. By seeking personal meaning, they align this life with their aspirations. And by living authentically, they ensure that this life, in all its challenges and triumphs, remains true to their essence. As they embark on this philosophical journey, young men discover not just the intricacies of adulthood, but the profound joy of a life well lived. Our exploration has spanned vast terrains, both in terms of history and intellect, from the practicalities of changing socio-economic landscapes to the depths of existential philosophy. We've delved into the complexities of young men's delayed entry into adulthood, weaving together threads from various disciplines to understand this phenomenon and, more importantly, to find ways to address it. The timeless voyage from boyhood to manhood is as old as humanity itself. Every era has its unique struggles, but the essence of the journey remains unchanged. It's a pilgrimage of self-discovery, responsibility, and personal growth. The ancient Greeks, with their rigorous physical and intellectual training, recognized the importance of rites of passage. Philosophers from Sartre to Frankl implored us to seek meaning and authenticity. Our modern age, with its myriad distractions, has only amplified the need for guidance, reflection, and mentorship. Yet, it's not just the youth who can glean insights from our discussion. Regardless of age, each of us is perpetually on the cusp of another adulthood. Life's phases don't end, they evolve. As we grow older, face challenges, embrace new responsibilities, and navigate changes, there's always another layer of maturity to attain, another depth of understanding to explore. Every viewer, every individual, has their unique story, marked by successes, failures, joy, and challenges. And it's in the retrospection of this personal narrative that real growth emerges. While the challenges faced by today's young men might seem daunting, history and human resilience provide ample evidence of our capacity to adapt, learn, and thrive. With the wisdom of yesteryears as our anchor and the insights of the present as our compass, we are equipped to guide the next generation and ourselves through the intricate dance of growing up. Every generation, with its distinct challenges, also births innovators, thinkers, leaders, and heroes who, armed with the legacy of the past and the vigor of the present, chart out new horizons. In the symphony of life, growing up is but one movement, beautiful in its melodies and poignant in its crescendos. It's a movement that demands attention, introspection, and action. As we draw this exploration to a close, let it be a beginning for all our viewers, a beginning of reflection, understanding, and a renewed journey towards maturity. After all, the tapestry of adulthood is woven not just with the threads of age, but with those of wisdom, experience, and genuine growth. Let's remember that every sunset is a horizon to a new dawn, every challenge an invitation to growth, and every generation, though seemingly astray, eventually finds its way, moving forward with grace, wisdom, and enduring maturity. Imagine a world where every accomplishment, every accolade, and every milestone didn't dictate success, where the chase for the next big thing didn't overshadow the journey. What if the true essence of success was far removed from what society has conditioned us to believe? Dive in as we unravel a perspective that might just change the way you see success, and consequently your entire life. In the expansive realm of philosophy and psychology, we've ventured through topics that challenge our perceptions, question our beliefs, and prod at the very essence of our existence. From the intricacies of human behavior to the existential debates of purpose, this channel has always been a haven for those in pursuit of deeper understanding. And today, as always, we'll embark on another enlightening exploration. Many of us define success by the badges of honor society places on certain achievements, whether it's climbing the corporate ladder, owning luxurious items, or even achieving fleeting moments of fame on social media platforms. But what if success isn't about the destination, the attainment of these badges, but more about the journey? What if it's about how you navigate the path, the intentions you set, and the ideals you chase? This leads us to the heart of today's discussion, a quote that captures a perspective so profound, yet so simple. The great Earl Nightingale, a man known for his deep dives into human character and motivation, once said, "Success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal." At first glance, this might seem like just another inspirational quote we might find on the backdrop of a scenic sunrise on Instagram. But as with many profound truths, its simplicity is deceptive. Instead of viewing success as a destination, a point we reach after traversing hardships, Nightingale offers us a perspective where success is the journey itself. It's in every step taken towards something you deem worthy, every moment you're in alignment with your ideals, and every day you wake up with purpose, passion, and perseverance. But why is this viewpoint revolutionary? And why does it matter more today than ever before? In today's rapidly changing world, traditional benchmarks of success are evolving, if not entirely disintegrating. The house, the car, the corner office. While all these still hold value, the younger generations in particular are seeking something more, something intangible. They're seeking purpose, fulfillment, and a sense of belonging in a world that's hyper-connected, yet often isolating. Moreover, the digital age, with its relentless pace and endless comparisons, often leaves individuals feeling perpetually inadequate. The goalposts for success constantly shift. By the time you achieve one goal, a new one emerges on the horizon, often accompanied by a sense of emptiness. But what if the real fulfillment was in the journey towards the goal, rather than the goal itself? Nightingale's perspective offers relief from this treadmill of endless pursuit. It offers a moment to pause, reflect, and realign. It speaks to a deeper, intrinsic human need, the need for purpose, for growth, and for a journey that matters. As we dive into this topic today, I invite you to embark on this journey with us, to question, reflect, and perhaps redefine your understanding of success. This isn't just about a quote. It's about a mindset, a way of life, and a perspective that can shape our world for the better. Join me as we unpack the layers of this profound statement, explore its roots in philosophy and psychology, and understand how it can be a beacon of clarity in the often confusing maze of modern life. Let's pivot now to what society often feeds us as the formula for success. Walk into any bookstore and you'll see shelves filled with self-help books preaching the gospel of success. These usually advocate for a straightforward path: excel in school, land a high-paying job, achieve promotions, buy a house, get married. The list goes on. The mantra seems to be, accumulate more, achieve more, and you will be more. The spotlight often shines on material wealth as the most glaring indicator of success. We live in a world where billionaires are idolized and the accumulation of assets is glorified. To some extent, material success has even been democratically crowned as the ultimate life goal. After all, doesn't wealth grant us the freedom and opportunities that we so fervently chase? But let's pause here for a second. Does financial prosperity guarantee happiness? More importantly, does it equate to success in the holistic sense? Nightingale would argue that it does not, especially if the acquisition of wealth is misaligned with what you truly consider to be a worthy ideal. Next in line is the notion of social status. The memberships to elite clubs, the high-profile connections, the social media following, and the admiration, if not envy, of your peers. These are often seen as markers of a life well lived. Social status and the esteem of others have been deeply ingrained in human psychology for millennia. Our ancestors needed social cohesion for survival, but today this primitive need has been extrapolated to heights that can often be disorienting. The relentless pursuit of status can morph into a Sisyphean task, where the boulder of social expectation keeps rolling back no matter how hard we push. Another glittering emblem on the sash of conventional success is career achievement. Titles, promotions, and accolades, these are the milestones that punctuate the traditional road to success. We've all heard the rags to riches tales of individuals climbing the corporate ladder with determination and grit. While these stories can serve as inspiration, they also propagate a limited perspective. The career-focused vision of success often neglects other realms of life, such as personal well-being, family, and broader societal contributions. So why are these definitions problematic? For starters, they're not universally applicable. What might be a milestone of success for one person could be entirely inconsequential for another. This one-size-fits-all approach doesn't just lack nuance, it can be actively harmful. Imagine the young adult who, despite a burgeoning career, feels an inexplicable emptiness because they've pursued a field for its lucrative prospects rather than its alignment with their passions. Think of the entrepreneur who amasses wealth but loses invaluable connections with family and friends. Picture the social media influencer who, despite thousands of likes and followers, grapples with loneliness and anxiety behind the screen. The repercussions extend into the realm of mental health. A 2019 study published in the Journal of Abnormal Psychology reported increasing rates of depression and psychological distress among young adults in the United States. While several factors contribute to this rising tide, one element that cannot be ignored is the stress and anxiety stemming from societal expectations around success. When we're continuously chasing a mirage crafted by collective norms, the resulting dissonance between reality and expectation can cultivate a breeding ground for mental health issues like anxiety and depression. In some cases, the pursuit of these conventional markers of success can lead to burnout, a state of emotional, physical, and mental exhaustion caused by prolonged stress. It's no surprise that burnout is being increasingly recognized by health organizations as a legitimate medical condition.
Most people don't know what success is all about. And since they don't know what it's about, they really don't know where to look for it. Success is really nothing more than the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. This means that any person who knows what he's doing and where he's going is a success. Any person with a goal toward which he's working is a successful person. This means that the boy in high school who's working toward a diploma, or the boy in college toward a degree, is just as successful as any human being on earth, because he knows what he's doing, why he's getting up in the morning, and where he's going. But conversely, if a person doesn't know what he's working toward, what it is he wants, doesn't have a goal toward which he's working, then he must, at least by this definition, be called unsuccessful. Why isn't then, with this simple definition, why isn't everyone successful? Should be easy. Yet surveys indicate that 19 out of 20, 95% at least, are not. In fact, a survey one time asked thousands of working men why they got up in the morning and went to work, and 19 out of 20 didn't know. 19 out of 20 working people didn't have the foggiest notion of why they got up in the morning and went to work. Under closer questioning, they said, well, everybody works. Well, that would be a good reason to quit. In fact, here's a little rule of thumb you might want to remember. Whatever the great majority is doing under any given circumstance, if you do exactly the opposite, you'll probably never make another mistake as long as you live. Just something to keep in the back of your mind.
By starting with a discussion of conventional success markers, we set the stage for the groundbreaking philosophy that Earl Nightingale presented. We expose the chinks in the armor of a societal construct that many have accepted without question. And from here, we can begin to explore alternative frameworks and attitudes that offer not just a more balanced life, but a profoundly fulfilling one. This is where the progressive realization of a worthy ideal comes into its own as a life philosophy, bringing us a model of success that is both timeless and, in many ways, revolutionary. As we veer away from the limiting parameters of conventional success, let's delve into the psychological frameworks that provide a more holistic understanding of success. After all, psychology doesn't merely study pathology or dysfunction. It also investigates what makes life most worth living. That includes success, however one may define it. To start, let's consider Abraham Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Picture a pyramid divided into layers, with the most basic human needs like food and shelter at the bottom, and self-actualization, a state of achieving one's full potential and realizing one's capabilities, at the top. Maslow's theory tells us that we can't focus on higher-level goals until our basic needs are met. Once they are, we can aim for self-esteem needs, like achievement and respect, and finally, strive for self-actualization. Doesn't Maslow's apex sound a lot like what Nightingale referred to as a worthy ideal? Both propose that true success involves fulfilling our highest potential. Importantly, Maslow introduces the idea that what constitutes a worthy ideal might be different at various stages of our lives, depending on which level of the hierarchy we are working to fulfill. This idea liberates us from a static, one-size-fits-all definition of success. Let's build on this with a discussion about motivation, an area in psychology that has significantly evolved over the past decades. Traditional theories often emphasize extrinsic motivation, which is driven by external rewards or punishments. These rewards can range from monetary benefits to social praise, and are usually what conventional views of success focus on. However, the psychological discourse has seen a shift towards the importance of intrinsic motivation, that which comes from within, independent of external rewards. Think of a painter lost in the world of colors and shapes, a musician engrossed in melodies, or even a researcher fueled by pure curiosity. They are motivated by the activity itself, and the success in these activities is inherently satisfying. This brings us back to Nightingale's statement: success, when seen as the progressive realization of a worthy ideal, aligns beautifully with the concept of intrinsic motivation. It's not the external rewards, but the inner fulfillment that defines success here. And intrinsic motivation doesn't just make us happier. Research indicates that it enhances performance, perseverance, and overall well-being. Consider the story of J.K. Rowling, who endured multiple rejections and hardships before publishing the Harry Potter series. What kept her going? It was not the lure of future fame or money. It was her intrinsic motivation, her desire to tell a story she believed in. Now, decades later, it's clear that her worthy ideal wasn't just about writing a bestseller. It was about creating a world that resonated with millions. Here, both intrinsic motivation and the worthy ideal mesh into a beautiful tapestry of what we could consider success. So what does the world stand to gain by shifting its focus from extrinsic to intrinsic motivators? Imagine businesses valuing employees not just for their output, but their creativity. Educational systems that nurture individual capabilities instead of standardizing knowledge. And a society that appreciates people for who they are rather than what they have. This isn't just idealistic pondering, it's a model supported by decades of research in human psychology. When we talk about the psychology of success, we are inherently discussing the psychology of well-being. They are two sides of the same coin. Studies have shown that intrinsic motivation not only elevates personal performance, but also contributes to mental health. And this is the juncture where psychology lends scientific credence to Nightingale's definition of success. As we weave through these psychological theories, we'll find that they not only illuminate but also validate Nightingale's wisdom. His definition beckons us to focus on a holistic, fulfilling, and above all, individualized understanding of success, one that nourishes the mind as much as it fuels ambition. And isn't that what we all are ultimately striving for? So the next time you find yourself questioning your path or feeling confined by society's narrow definitions of success, remember this. Success is not just about reaching a destination, but also about enjoying the journey, especially when it's directed towards realizing an ideal you hold worthy. As we transition from psychology, let's now immerse ourselves in the deep waters of philosophy to gain another perspective on success. Philosophy and its myriad frameworks offer us not just wisdom, but also a historical context. It's like looking at a map of human thought on the concept of a successful or good life. Let's start by stepping back a few millennia to ancient Greece. Philosophers like Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle grappled with the concept of the good life or eudaimonia, often interpreted as happiness or flourishing. For Aristotle, eudaimonia was intrinsically tied to virtue and reasoned contemplation. A life dedicated to the pursuit of knowledge, the practice of virtue, and the development of character constituted a life well lived. Here we see remarkable parallels with Nightingale's worthy ideal. For Aristotle, the worthy ideal was a virtuous character and the rational activity that emanated from it. The pursuit itself, the active engagement with virtue and wisdom, constituted the good life. There was no endpoint, only a continuous striving, a progressive realization, if you will, which is strikingly similar to what Nightingale proposed. We also see this in Stoicism, a philosophy that originated in Greece but gained widespread influence in Rome through philosophers like Seneca, Epictetus, and Marcus Aurelius. For the Stoics, success was about cultivating inner tranquility through the mastery of one's desires and emotional responses. Stoicism urges us to focus on what we can control, our actions and attitudes, rather than external events. This autonomy of inner life aligns with Nightingale's idea of personal responsibility in achieving a worthy ideal. As we fast forward to more modern times, existentialism offers another riveting lens through which to examine success. Existentialist philosophers like Jean-Paul Sartre and Albert Camus argued that life has no inherent meaning. Instead, individuals must create their own essence through their actions and choices. In other words, you're responsible for the goals you set and the worthy ideals you pursue. This philosophy compels us to confront our freedoms and the inherent responsibilities that come with them. We are free to define our worthy ideal, and thereby our own version of success. But this freedom also mandates that we bear the burden of these choices. We can't outsource our life's meaning to society's shifting values or ephemeral trends. This ties back elegantly to Nightingale's assertion that the pursuit of a personally defined, worthy ideal constitutes success. Let's not forget that philosophy isn't solely the purview of the Western world. Eastern philosophies like Buddhism, Taoism, and the Hindu concept of Dharma also grapple with what makes a life worthy. These philosophies often focus on the concept of balance, harmony, and interconnectedness, adding another layer of complexity to our exploration. While the worthy ideal in these traditions might involve transcending the self, the community, or even the material world, they also provide various roadmaps to what could be considered a successful life. So why delve into philosophy when discussing a seemingly practical topic like success? Because it allows us to step back and ask more fundamental questions. What kind of life is worth living? What should one strive for? What constitutes a good or successful life in the first place? These questions remind us that the idea of success is deeply rooted in philosophical thought, and through the ages, thinkers have presented diverse yet complementary paths to arrive at a fulfilling life. It's crucial to acknowledge that these philosophies aren't mutually exclusive. They can coexist and even complement each other in enriching our understanding of success. So whether it's the virtuous life of Aristotle, the Stoic focus on inner peace, or the existential freedom of creating our own meaning, each offers a piece of the puzzle. And like Nightingale, they all seem to whisper in unison, success is not a destination but a journey, a progressive realization of a worthy ideal. After swimming through the ocean of psychology and trekking through the mountainous terrain of philosophy, let's now focus the lens directly onto the heart of Nightingale's definition, the worthy ideal. This term, although seemingly self-explanatory, is like an onion, revealing more layers the more we peel it back.
We know that he works 40 hours a week as a rule. 40 hours a week, which leaves him 72 hours a week when he's neither working nor sleeping. 72 free, discretionary hours each week to do with as he pleases. At this point, of course, he's married, he has his little house and his little car. And this is about what he does with his free 72 hours every week. He'll do what the other fellows are doing with their free 72 hours every week, which is virtually nothing at all. On a typical day, he'll quit right on the dot, get in his little car, go to his little house, go in his little kitchen, kiss his little wife and say, "I'm tired." They've even figured out why he says that. The experts believe that he used to hear his father say that back when men used to get tired working during the day, and he picked it up and he repeats this every night when he gets home. He bolts his little meal and then heads for the living room where he turns on his escape box. Click. But he sits there for 6.5 hours until finally his wife, who's a little more practical than he is, taps him on the shoulder and she said, "Charlie, I think it's about time you went to bed. You've got to get up in the morning, go to work." And he's okay, and he shuts it off. He knows how to do that. He just shuts it off and goes to bed. Next morning he gets up and he does this all over again. He does this every day for 40 years. At the end of 40 years, he's retired, which always kind of catches him by surprise. No one's ever figured that one out either. And then he dies at 85 or 90, the way medical science is moving us along, out of sheer boredom. Well, what's the problem? Is there a tragedy here? Not really, if that's the way Charlie wants to spend his life, our mythical, hypothetical young man. If he wants to spend his life that way, that's his business. He lives in a free society, he can do anything with it he wants. But there's a terrible tragedy here if he's living that way because of the total lack of a decision. if he's living that way simply because he's still doing what he was doing in the first and second grade, and that's going along with the fellows up and down the block on the unspoken assumption that they know how to live, then there's a real tragedy there, because they've never known how to live, not in all the recorded history of mankind. He never finds out who he is. He never reaches into the deep depths of his abilities, his talents. He never learns that he can have just about anything he wants in the world, that he can call his own shots, tell his own fortune, and it's kind of a pity.
Let's begin with the vast cultural landscapes that shape our notions of what a worthy ideal might entail. Consider the American dream, deeply entrenched in the culture of the United States, where life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness are celebrated ideals. Here, a worthy ideal often manifests as social mobility, financial security, and individual freedom. Now contrast this with a collectivist society like Japan, where social harmony, or wa, takes precedence. Here, a worthy ideal might be contributing to society and maintaining social equilibrium, even if it comes at the cost of individual ambitions or desires. In cultures deeply rooted in spiritual traditions, such as parts of India or Tibet, a worthy ideal may focus on spiritual enlightenment and the well-being of the community, rather than personal material gain. Each culture, with its unique history, values, and social constructs, molds what its inhabitants may regard as a worthy ideal. But culture is just one part of the puzzle. As individuals, we all have our unique blend of experiences, beliefs, and values. What may be a worthy ideal for one person may not hold the same gravitas for another. A musician might find their worthy ideal in creating an original composition that stirs the soul, while an environmental activist might see it in effective climate advocacy. Worthy ideals can be mutable. As we grow and learn, our understanding of what is worthy can and often does shift. The business person who once found success in scaling a company might later find a new worthy ideal in philanthropy or mentoring the next generation. Now, why is defining a worthy ideal so crucial? Well, the ideals you pursue set the trajectory for your life's course. Think of them as the North Star guiding your actions, decisions, and pursuits. When your personal ideals are in alignment with your long-term life objectives, there's a sense of coherence and purpose in what you do. This alignment is not just ethereal or abstract. It has practical implications. Studies have shown that alignment between personal values and life goals contributes to greater well-being, and can even have a protective factor against stress and life's inevitable setbacks. Furthermore, this alignment ensures that your energies are channeled effectively. Every action you take becomes a step toward the progressive realization of your worthy ideal, which in turn adds a layer of fulfillment and meaning to your existence. But what happens when there's a misalignment? A sense of discord or cognitive dissonance arises. It's like trying to fit a square peg into a round hole. No matter how hard you push, it just doesn't fit. And this discord can lead to unhappiness, stress, and even a sense of failure, even when you're achieving other markers of success. As you embark on the journey to identify or reevaluate your worthy ideal, remember that it doesn't have to be grandiose or universally acknowledged. It just has to be significant to you. It should resonate with your deepest convictions, highest aspirations, and should ideally be steeped in a value system that you respect. After all, a worthy ideal, as Nightingale pointed out, is personal. It's your compass in the sea of life's possibilities. In the grand tapestry of life, understanding and striving for your worthy ideal is not merely an act of personal fulfillment, but a radical act of self-definition. It's about carving out your own path in a world that often insists on handing you a map, and it's this audacious act that transforms the pursuit of success into a rich, nuanced, and deeply satisfying journey. Having delved into the depths of what constitutes a worthy ideal, it's time to examine the other essential component of Nightingale's formula for success, the progressive realization. After all, what good is having a compass if you're not willing to move? Success is not just about setting a goal, it's about the journey, the continual pursuit and evolution toward that ideal. So let's dig into why progress, in many ways, is the engine that drives the vehicle of success. In various domains of life, be it business, science, art, or personal development, the most revered figures are often those who continually refine their craft. Think of athletes who break records, artists who revolutionize genres, or scientists who make groundbreaking discoveries. What they all have in common is a relentless focus on improvement, a ceaseless striving that embodies the very essence of the progressive realization Nightingale spoke of. Continuous improvement isn't just about big monumental leaps, it's also about small incremental changes that accumulate over time. This is often captured by the Japanese concept of kaizen, which emphasizes the value of small, consistent improvements. Over time, these little advancements add up, creating a snowball effect that leads to substantial growth and, eventually, mastery. In psychological terms, progress satisfies our inherent need for competence, one of the three basic psychological needs identified by self-determination theory. When we see ourselves making headway toward our goals, it fuels our intrinsic motivation, leading us to engage more deeply in the activity at hand. This forms a virtuous cycle where progress fuels motivation, which in turn fuels further progress. Moreover, progress serves as a litmus test, a way to measure the validity and feasibility of our worthy ideal. Sometimes, despite our best intentions, we choose ideals that are misaligned with our capabilities or circumstances. Progress, or the lack thereof, serves as feedback, offering us a chance to pivot or refine our goals, ensuring that our ideals remain not just worthy, but also realistic and attainable. At this juncture, it would be almost criminal not to introduce the groundbreaking work of psychologist Carol Dweck, particularly her concept of the growth mindset. Dweck contrasts a fixed mindset, where individuals believe their abilities are static, with a growth mindset, where individuals see abilities as malleable and improvable through effort. The growth mindset is not just a mental framework, it's a fundamental philosophy that directly affects our approach toward challenges, failures, and ultimately, our worthy ideals. In the landscape of success, a growth mindset serves as the fertile soil where the seeds of progress take root. It encourages resilience, fosters innovation, and mitigates the fear of failure. By viewing challenges as opportunities to grow and effort as the pathway to mastery, individuals with a growth mindset are far more likely to engage in the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. What's beautiful about Nightingale's concept is how it implicitly advocates for a growth mindset. The worthy ideal gives you a direction, while the progressive realization equips you with the attitude and approach necessary for the journey. Together, they create a balanced equation where the ideal serves as the why, and the progressive realization serves as the how. To truly engage in the progressive realization of a worthy ideal, you have to cultivate a love for the process, not just the outcome. Progress becomes not just a means to an end, but a rewarding end in itself. When each day, each task, each challenge becomes a step on the spiraling staircase toward your ideal, then you are not just successful. You are deeply, profoundly engaged in the act of living successfully. In that sense, every moment becomes a victory, every effort a triumph, and every setback a lesson. Now that we've examined the theoretical underpinnings of Nightingale's profound observation, let's get practical. After all, Understanding the philosophy and psychology behind success is enriching, but it's the application of these principles that will ultimately manifest your worthy ideal into reality.
Our rewards in life will always be in exact proportion to our contribution, to our service. We all know this, really. We tell our children in Sunday school that as ye sow, so shall ye reap, but we forget that that's true. If a man is unhappy with his rewards, all in the world he's got to do is find ways of increasing his contribution, his service. It's like the story of the preacher who was driving down a country road, and all of a sudden he came to the most magnificent farm he'd ever seen in his life. It was beautiful. And so he saw the farmer approaching the road on his tractor, and so he hailed him, and he said, "My good man," he said, "God has certainly blessed you with a magnificent farm." And the farmer thought for a moment, and he said, "Yes, you're right, he certainly has. But you should have seen this place when he had it all to himself." And the preacher had his sermon for the next Sunday. He realized that all the farmers up and down that road had been given the same land, but one man had made something great out of it. Well, all of us are given the same land. We're given a human life, and each of us can make something great out of it too if we want to.
In this section, we'll delve into actionable steps for goal setting, planning, and tracking your progress, as well as discuss why qualities like resilience and adaptability are indispensable on your journey. Firstly, goal setting should not be an exercise in listing down abstract and ill-defined ambitions. Effective goals are smart, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. Specificity offers a clear vision, measurability allows you to track your progress, attainability keeps you realistic, relevance ensures alignment with your worthy ideal, and a time frame provides a sense of urgency. These SMART goals become the rungs on the ladder towards your ideal, guiding each step you take. For instance, if your worthy ideal is to contribute to medical research, a SMART goal might be: publish a research paper on a breakthrough therapy in a peer-reviewed journal within the next 2 years. This goal is specific, measurable, potentially achievable, relevant to your worthy ideal, and time-bound. Now that your SMART goals are in place, it's time to strategize. Break down your goals into smaller tasks and prioritize them. Use tools like the Eisenhower matrix to distinguish between what's urgent and what's important. Then, allocate your time and resources accordingly. Software and apps like Asana, Trello, or even a simple Excel sheet can be effective tools to keep you organized and on track. The planning phase also involves identifying potential obstacles and coming up with contingency plans. By anticipating challenges, you're not just problem-solving in advance. You're psychologically preparing yourself to face difficulties, thereby reducing the adverse impact they might have on your motivation and progress. Tracking your progress. This is where many people falter, mainly because tracking progress requires a continuous commitment. It's easy to set a goal and even to plan, but the rubber meets the road when you start implementing and assessing. Use key performance indicators, KPIs, or specific milestones to gauge your progress. Keep a journal or use digital tracking systems to monitor how you're doing. The act of tracking is not just for accountability, it also serves as a motivating feedback loop. As much as we'd love for the path toward our worthy ideal to be a straight, obstacle-free road, life usually has other plans. This is where resilience and adaptability come into play. Resilience is about bouncing back from setbacks and failures without losing your sense of purpose or self-worth. Adaptability is about adjusting your strategies and expectations in response to unforeseen challenges without losing sight of your ultimate ideal. Incorporate reflective practices like journaling or mindfulness to build resilience. These help in enhancing self-awareness, thereby empowering you to deal with setbacks in a more balanced way. Adaptability can be fostered by developing a diverse skill set and cultivating a network of mentors and peers who can offer different perspectives when you encounter roadblocks. Your journey towards a worthy ideal will never be a static endeavor. It's a dynamic, evolving process that demands continuous input and adaptability. By setting smart goals, planning strategically, tracking your progress, and fostering resilience and adaptability, you are equipping yourself with a robust toolkit to make your worthy ideal a reality. Remember, as you navigate the intricate path towards your ideal, each day offers a new opportunity to enact mini successes, to take one more step in the progressive realization of what you find worthy. In doing so, not only do you get closer to your ultimate goal, but you also enrich the journey itself, turning it into a rewarding experience that defines success in the most holistic sense.
At the beginning, I said, what makes a child grow up into the human being he becomes? Well, this is the reason for that. Of course, he's the confluence of a genetic pool that goes back for thousands and thousands of years. His environment has an influence on him, of course. But what makes him become the person he becomes is that he becomes what he thinks about most of the time. It's as simple as that. We become what we think about most of the time, and that's the strangest secret. This is why thinking is so vital. This is why a goal is so important, because we will become that. This is why people who set goals achieve them. The trouble with men is not in achieving their goals. They do that. It's in establishing them. I think it's good to remember that if we just go along with the crowd, we won't wind up with much more than the wish that we could do it all over again, and as far as we know, you can't. If we want to amount to anything as individuals, we need individual goals, individual thinking, individual actions, and we must never conform to the big group. We must love them, we must help them, we must serve them, because our whole success will depend on our ability to do these things. But never lose our own individuality and our identity by permitting ourselves to become submerged in what has historically proved itself to be little more than a suffocating sea of indirection and purposelessness. If we want to emulate someone, fine, but let's be choosy in whose steps we follow. It's the only life we've got. And remember to think. Imagination is everything, and we can become what we can imagine.
As we wrap up this deep dive into the philosophy and psychology of success, let's revisit the profound yet simple Earl Nightingale quote that has served as our compass. Success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. We've peeled back the layers on this concept, venturing from its traditional definitions, marred by materialism and external validation, to an interpretation that is rooted in psychological and philosophical wisdom. From the Maslow's hierarchy of needs to the influence of existentialism and classical philosophy on the notion of a worthy ideal, we've covered a substantial theoretical ground. But we've also delved into the practical, actionable steps, common pitfalls, and the transformative potential for both individuals and society at large. As we near the end, I want to leave you with this final thought. Understanding success as a journey and not a destination can be the key to a fulfilling life. It liberates us from the shackles of societal expectations, grants us the courage to define our own worthy ideal, and equips us with the tools to navigate the inevitable obstacles we'll encounter along the way. This perspective allows us to engage deeply with our life's work, to build meaningful relationships, and to contribute to a world in dire need of every individual's unique offerings. In this moment of unparalleled complexity, as we grapple with existential threats from climate change to social inequality, never has there been a more urgent need for a comprehensive and humane definition of success. One that honors the dignity of the individual, but also respects the interconnected web of our collective existence. So, as you move forward, ponder on your worthy ideal, because success isn't a distant summit to be conquered, but the very ground you tread upon each day in pursuit of what truly matters. Remember, the more we as individuals commit to our worthy ideals, the more we inch society toward a future that is not just successful in a traditional sense, but also wise, equitable, and compassionate. So let's take this concept beyond mere theoretical discussion. Let's live it, embody it, and propagate it. This isn't just a philosophy, it's a call to action, a blueprint for a life rich in meaning and a world abundant in purpose. Have you ever observed the elegance with which a river flows, winding its way around obstacles, never rushing, yet always reaching its destination? Have you watched a tree grow, stretching towards the sky, never straining but always expanding? There's a rhythm, a natural pulse to life, a kind of harmonious dance that doesn't rely on force or strain, yet achieves the seemingly impossible. What if I told you that the same principle could be applied to your own life? What if the very act of not trying could get you closer to your goals than years of hard grind and force? Welcome to a journey into the profound philosophy of the East, where the idea of non-action, or Wu Wei, reigns supreme. It's a concept that has shaped the lives of countless individuals, guiding them towards a life of harmony, peace, and yes, achievement. But it defies a lot of what we've been conditioned to believe. In today's relentless, hustle-driven world, the very thought of achieving something without aggressive action sounds, at best, like a romantic dream, and at worst, sheer laziness. But Wu Wei is neither. It's the intricate art of knowing when to act and when to remain still. Now, this term might be new to many of you. Originating from Taoist philosophy, this ancient Chinese term literally translates to non-action or non-doing. But much like many age-old philosophical concepts, the meaning goes far deeper than its literal translation. It's not about sitting idly by while life happens around you. Instead, it's about aligning one's actions so perfectly with the natural flow of circumstances that everything seems to fall into place effortlessly. Imagine for a moment a martial artist, poised, balanced, waiting. When the opponent strikes, the artist doesn't exert unnecessary force. Instead, they channel the momentum, use the energy given to them, and move in harmony with the situation. That, in essence, is Wu Wei. It's the ability to recognize when to exert effort and when to let things unfold, trusting that the universe or the Tao is always in a natural state of balance. And here lies the paradox. In a world that champions the idea of more effort equals more results, the Taoist principle of Wu Wei suggests the opposite. Sometimes, it's in the space of non-action, in the pause, the breath, the waiting, that true power is realized. It's a counterintuitive thought, isn't it? That by trying less, we might achieve more. By letting go of our need to control every outcome, we might find that outcomes align more harmoniously with our desires. Consider for a moment the last time you tried to force a result. Maybe you were trying to convince someone of your viewpoint, or perhaps you were pushing hard for a work project to come to fruition in a specific way. How did that feel? Tense, exhausting, frustrating? Now recall a time where you set an intention, did your part, and then let things unfold. The difference in these two approaches is not just in the outcomes, but in the journey itself. It's worth noting that this isn't about advocating passivity. Quite the opposite. Wu Wei is deeply active. It requires acute awareness, keen observation, and a deep connection with one's environment and self. The key difference is where the action comes from, a place of force or a place of alignment. In this exploration we're about to embark on, I invite you to open your mind and heart to the wisdom of the East, to the lessons of the rivers, the trees, and the ancient sages who understood something profound about the universe. That in the art of not trying, we might just discover the secret to achieving everything we've ever wanted, and to do so with grace, ease, and joy. To truly grasp the depth of Wu Wei, we must first journey back in time, traversing the landscapes of ancient China, where atop misty mountains and within serene temples, the seeds of Taoism were sown. The concept of Wu Wei is not just a passing thought or a modern trend, it's a profound wisdom deeply embedded in the halls of Eastern philosophy. Taoism, or Taoism as it's sometimes referred to, is an ancient philosophical and spiritual tradition that has shaped Chinese culture for over 2 millennia. At its heart lies the Tao or Tao, often translated as the Way. However, much like Wu Wei, Tao is a term so vast and profound that it's somewhat elusive to direct translation. The Tao is described as the ultimate, the source, the underlying nature of all existence. It's both the beginning and the end, the path and the traveler, and it is in this cosmic dance of the Tao that the principle of Wu Wei finds its rhythm. The most revered text in Taoism, the Tao Te Ching, penned by the mysterious figure Lao Tzu, offers pearls of wisdom about this principle. Here's a taste from chapter 37 of the Tao Te Ching. The Tao never does anything, yet through it all things are done. If powerful men and women could remain centered in the Tao, all things would be in harmony. The paradoxical essence of this concept is palpable in these lines. The Tao, in its non-action, gives rise to all action. It's not the clanging, noisy efforts, but the silent, profound stillness that brings forth the universe's dance. When we align with the Tao, when we flow in harmony with the natural order, we can achieve more than when we swim against the current. But Taoism isn't the only Eastern philosophy that reveres the principles akin to Wu Wei. Journeying eastward from China, we touch the shores of Japan, where Zen Buddhism flourished. Zen, with its emphasis on meditation, mindfulness, and presence, echoes the sentiments of Wu Wei in its teachings. While Zen doesn't directly speak of non-action, it profoundly emphasizes the state of being over doing. Consider the Zen practice of shikantaza, or just sitting. It's a form of meditation where one isn't trying to do anything, think anything, or achieve anything. Instead, it's about simply being, observing, and existing. It's a radical act of pure presence, where the meditator is not seeking enlightenment, but is instead just being in the moment. This just being, while seemingly passive, is an intense form of active engagement with the present. Much like Wu Wei, it's about alignment, harmony, and merging with the flow. Moreover, while Zen and Taoism might be the most prominent, many other Eastern traditions echo similar sentiments. The ancient Indian philosophy of Nishkama Karma, from the Bhagavad Gita, for instance, speaks of action without attachment to results, a theme closely resonant with Wu Wei's principles. It's fascinating to observe that despite the geographical, linguistic, and cultural divides, there seems to be a universal thread weaving through these philosophies. They all point towards a profound truth. Sometimes, it's not our forceful interventions, but our gentle surrender, our alignment with a greater cosmic dance that brings about the most profound outcomes. Whether it's the silent Tao guiding all existence, the Zen master just sitting in profound presence, or the Gita's call to act without attachment, the message is clear. There is an art, a subtle beauty in not trying, in just being, and in flowing with the currents of life. As we delve deeper into the philosophical waters of the East, the term Wu Wei rises as a lighthouse, guiding us towards understanding a distinctive approach to life. It's a phrase that intrigues, conjuring images of stillness, perhaps even of monks atop secluded mountains. But what does it truly signify? Let's commence with the linguistics. Wu Wei is a Chinese term where Wu translates to not or without, and Wei means doing or action. Together they frame the idea of non-action or non-doing, but herein lies a quandary. A superficial interpretation might suggest inertia, stagnation, or passive idleness. However, that would be a grievous misinterpretation of a profound philosophy that has been a guiding light for sages, rulers, and thinkers for centuries. This principle is akin to the elegance of a dancer lost in the performance, so engrossed in the moment that every move feels not like a calculated step but a natural extension of their being. It's the painter whose brush flows freely across the canvas, not directed by the conscious mind but guided by a spontaneous spirit. This idea is not about the absence of action but the purity of action. It's an act free from friction, free from the rigid structures of overthinking, planning, or forcing. To elucidate further, consider the flow of water. It doesn't strain, doesn't push, yet it's unceasing in its movement, carving valleys and shaping mountains over time. Water doesn't try in the way we often understand the term. It simply follows its intrinsic nature, moves in alignment with the environment. This is the essence of Wu Wei, acting in accordance with one's nature and the nature of the universe, without unnecessary force. A frequent misconception surrounding Wu Wei is equating it with laziness or a lack of ambition. This couldn't be further from the truth. Embracing this concept doesn't mean abandoning aspirations or responsibilities. Instead, it signifies a reframing of how we approach them. For instance, a martial artist practicing Wu Wei is not passive. When confronted, they don't use brute strength to overpower an opponent. Instead, they employ a deep understanding of energy, momentum, and leverage to redirect forces, using minimal energy for maximum impact. It's an aligned action, strategic and efficient, rather than a brute force approach. A modern analogy could be drawn from the world of aeronautics. Consider the principle of aerodynamic efficiency in aircraft design. Engineers don't merely add more power to make planes fly faster or higher. They craft the design to minimize air resistance, allowing the plane to glide smoothly with lesser fuel consumption. This optimization, where you achieve more by using less, mirrors this profound Taoist philosophy. In life, this might translate to listening more than speaking in a heated discussion, allowing the conversation to flow to understanding rather than forcing an agenda. In business, it could mean understanding market currents and consumer behavior and positioning one's strategy in alignment rather than pushing against prevailing trends. In essence, Wu Wei champions a harmonious engagement with life where action emerges from a place of deep awareness, alignment, and adaptability. It encourages us to observe, to understand the rhythm, and to act when the time is ripe. It's about sensing the ebb and flow of situations and seamlessly integrating our actions within these natural rhythms. In a world constantly urging us to act, to hustle, to push harder, the ancient wisdom of Wu Wei offers a refreshing counterintuitive perspective. It reminds us that sometimes the greatest power lies not in how forcefully we can push, but in how harmoniously we can flow. The natural world has always been a reservoir of wisdom, offering insights into life's deeper truths. For the sages of the East, especially Lao Tzu, one element stood out as an unparalleled teacher: water. This simple, unassuming substance, covering the majority of our blue planet, becomes a potent metaphor in the hands of the Taoist philosopher, providing us with profound insights into the essence of Wu Wei. In the Tao Te Ching, he articulates the philosophy of Wu Wei using the metaphor of water in numerous passages. One of the most notable mentions is, "Nothing in the world is as soft and yielding as water, yet for dissolving the hard and inflexible, nothing can surpass it." Water's nature is not to resist, not to challenge head-on, and certainly not to rush. Yet it's always persistent, always moving, always finding a way. Think of a meandering river. It doesn't take a straight path, nor does it force its way through obstacles. It carves its path patiently, molding the very landscape around it over time. Even when confronted with a rock or a mountain, water doesn't halt. It simply finds a way around, under, or over it. Such is the essence of Wu-Wei, acting without unnecessary force, allowing things to unfold and gracefully navigating the path of least resistance. Lao Tzu's emphasis on water illustrates a crucial aspect of resilience. In contemporary understanding, resilience might be misconstrued as toughness or rigidity. But true resilience, as symbolized by water, is in its adaptability, its flexibility. Water takes the shape of any container it's put in, yet it retains its essence. It can be soft as a morning dewdrop or powerful as a tidal wave, adapting to its context without losing its core nature. Similarly, when we embody these principles in our lives, we develop a resilience that doesn't stem from mere stubbornness or grit, but from a deep understanding and alignment with the flow of life. When faced with adversity, rather than breaking under pressure or resisting change, we learn to adapt, evolve, and find new ways, just as water would. Every obstacle, much like the boulders in a stream, offers an opportunity, a chance to recalibrate, reassess, and find a new path. The rocks don't deter the water, they merely change its course. Similarly, in life, challenges and setbacks are inevitable. This philosophy, as encapsulated by the water metaphor, encourages us not to meet these challenges with brute force or denial, but with understanding and adaptability. Imagine being faced with a professional setback. Instead of resisting it or dwelling in despair, the principle of Wu-Wei would have us assess the situation, understand its dynamics, and then act in a way that aligns with the present reality, all the while maintaining our broader vision. Much like water, the journey might take unexpected turns, but the destination remains in sight. But perhaps the most striking feature of water is its unassuming power. It nourishes, sustains, carves valleys, and erodes mountains. All this not through violent bursts, but through consistent, gentle action. In many ways, water embodies the paradox of Wu-Wei, soft yet powerful, gentle yet persistent, flexible yet unyielding in its essence. Lao Tzu, in drawing parallels between water and Wu-Wei, compels us to reconsider our notions of strength and success. In a world that often equates power with aggression and achievement with relentless pursuit, the water metaphor offers a counter-narrative. It speaks of a strength that is not loud but profound, of achievements not born out of strife, but out of harmonious alignment. In embracing the teachings of Lao Tzu and the wisdom of Wu-Wei, we are not just adopting a philosophical stance, but a way of life, one where we respect the flow, understand the power of persistence, recognize the strength in softness, and above all, trust the journey. For in the end, like water, we will find our way, shaping paths and carving destinies, one gentle ripple at a time. As we traverse the landscape of thought, from the whispering pines of ancient China to the bustling laboratories and lecture halls of 20th century psychology, there emerges a fascinating confluence. The wisdom of Wu-Wei, as it meets modern psychological understanding, finds a vibrant echo in a term that's piqued the interest of thinkers, athletes, artists, and professionals alike: the flow state. Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi, a pioneering figure in positive psychology, introduced the concept of flow to the wider world through his groundbreaking research. He describes flow as a state of complete immersion in an activity, wherein an individual is so engrossed that everything else seems to fade away. Time appears to warp, self-consciousness diminishes, and all that matters is the task at hand. In Csikszentmihalyi's own words, flow is a state in which people are so involved in an activity that nothing else seems to matter. The experience itself is so enjoyable that people will do it even at great cost, for the sheer sake of doing it. At the heart of both Wu-Wei and the flow state lies the concept of effortlessness, not in the sense of lack of exertion, but as a harmonious alignment that removes the sensation of strain. When one is in a flow state, there isn't a feeling of trying hard. Instead, actions and decisions arise spontaneously, guided by intuition and experience. This mirrors the teachings of Wu Wei, where actions are in alignment with the nature of the self and the universe, transcending the realm of forced effort. Present moment awareness is another common thread weaving through both philosophies. In the flow state, individuals are deeply anchored in the now. They aren't distracted by past regrets or future anxieties. Every ounce of their attention is riveted on the present task. Similarly, Wu Wei emphasizes the importance of moving with the natural rhythms of the present moment, unburdened by the weights of past and future. The environment and our alignment with it play a pivotal role in both concepts. In Csikszentmihalyi's flow, an individual's skills are perfectly matched with the challenge at hand. There's a harmonious balance where neither boredom, from a task being too easy, nor anxiety, from a task being too hard, can prevail. This equilibrium resonates deeply with Wu Wei's call for aligned action, where one acts in harmony with the external environment, neither overreaching nor underperforming. A particularly fascinating overlap is the transcendence of the self. In the throes of a flow state, the ego, with all its insecurities and self-consciousness, dissolves. One becomes the action they are performing, be it painting, running, writing, or any other activity. This dissolution of the self offers a profound sense of fulfillment and contentment. In the embrace of Wu Wei, a similar transcendence is observed. By aligning with the Tao, the way of the universe, one moves beyond the narrow confines of the self. There's a melding into a larger tapestry, a harmonious union with the world around, which brings about deep inner peace and satisfaction. In the realms of modern psychology, the flow state has been linked to heightened creativity, increased productivity, and enhanced well-being. From athletes breaking records to artists crafting masterpieces, the fingerprints of flow are evident. Csikszentmihalyi's research provides a scientific framework to what ancient Taoist sages intuited centuries ago. Both perspectives, despite the vast chasm of time and culture between them, advocate for a life of harmony, alignment, and joyful immersion. In the echoes between Wu Wei and the flow state, we witness a testament to the universality of certain truths. Whether articulated through the poetic metaphors of Lao Tzu or the empirical research of Csikszentmihalyi, the message remains consistent. True fulfillment and excellence arise not from strained effort, but from harmonious alignment with oneself, the task, and the world. In the vast mosaic of human civilizations, each culture has painted its unique strokes, shaped by geography, history, and collective aspirations. As we shift our lens westward from the tranquil banks of ancient Chinese wisdom, we encounter a markedly different ethos. Here, the drumbeat of doing reverberates with unwavering intensity. But this tireless march, while propelling societies to dizzying heights, also casts long shadows of exhaustion and ennui. Let's dive into this dynamic, understanding its origins, its implications, and its challenges. From the towering skyscrapers that scrape the heavens to the unceasing hum of metropolises that never sleep, the Western world is a testament to human ambition. Historically, this part of the world has lionized the idea of action. The American dream, for instance, encapsulates this sentiment. With hard work, determination, and a bit of luck, anyone can climb the ladder of success. It's an ethos of manifest destiny, of conquering frontiers, both external and internal. Renaissance Europe saw a burst of creativity and exploration, celebrating human potential and individualism. The subsequent Industrial Revolution further entrenched the idea of ceaseless productivity, with machines and men working round the clock, transforming societies and economies. In the modern era, this celebration of action has found new avatars. The Silicon Valley startup culture, with its hustle hard mantra, the self-help industry's emphasis on goal setting and achievement, and even our social media landscapes that reward constant engagement all echo the same message: to be is to do. But like Icarus, soaring ever higher on waxen wings, this relentless pursuit has its perils. The consequences are manifold, affecting individuals and societies at large. Once considered a fringe phenomenon, burnout is now recognized as a legitimate syndrome by health bodies like the World Health Organization. It's characterized by emotional exhaustion, cynicism, and reduced efficacy in work. This isn't merely tiredness, it's a profound depletion of the human spirit. The pressure to be always on, always performing, and always reaching for the next milestone has turned stress into a ubiquitous companion for many. Chronic stress, as numerous studies suggest, has debilitating effects on physical health, mental well-being, and overall life satisfaction. Ironically, the obsession with constant action often leads to inefficiency. The myth of multitasking, the inability to disconnect, and the erosion of deep, focused work means that while we might be busier than ever, we aren't necessarily more productive. The quality of output, creativity, and innovation often suffers in the relentless churn of activity. Amidst the endless hustle, there's a creeping sense of existential void. Many begin to question the purpose of their incessant efforts. Is it merely for material accumulation, social validation, or is there a deeper meaning to life that gets obscured in the blinding dust of constant movement? The Western emphasis on doing has undoubtedly led to remarkable advancements, innovations, and improvements in living standards. But as with all things, balance is crucial. The pendulum, which has swung towards relentless action, might need some recalibration. Eastern philosophies, with their emphasis on being, on harmony, and on aligned action, like the concept of Wu Wei we explored, offer a counterpoint. They invite a reconsideration of our relentless pursuit, suggesting that sometimes in letting go of forced effort, in tuning into the rhythms of nature and life, and in embracing stillness amidst the storm, we might find not just peace, but also a more profound, sustainable, and joyous productivity. As our world becomes ever more interconnected, there's an opportunity, a necessity even, to engage in a cross-cultural dialogue, to understand the strengths and limitations of different worldviews, and weave together a tapestry that draws from the best of both. In this synthesis, there's hope for a future where achievement and well-being walk hand in hand, where the rivers of action and introspection merge, leading us to shores of greater understanding and fulfillment. In the luminous glow of ancient wisdom, abstract concepts often float like ethereal clouds. Their beauty and depth are undeniable, but how do we tether these lofty notions to the grounded realities of our daily lives? How can one employ the serenity and wisdom of Wu Wei amidst deadlines, digital distractions, and never-ending to-do lists? Let's embark on this journey, seeking tangible strategies inspired by Wu Wei, enabling us to navigate our fast-paced world with grace and purpose. The grace of letting go. By letting it go, it all gets done. The world is won by those who let it go. But when you try and try, the world is beyond the winning. Lao Tzu. One of the most potent lessons from Wu Wei is recognizing the power of non-action, especially when action doesn't align with the natural course. In our everyday life, this can translate into understanding when to pause, step back, or even abandon a task. For example, if you're facing a creative block or are entangled in a persistent disagreement with someone, sometimes it's best to step away for a moment, take a break, and allow space for clarity to emerge. This isn't defeat or avoidance, it's strategic non-action, allowing the natural course of things to take over. In the workspace, this might mean knowing when to delegate or when to leave space for a colleague to come to a realization on their own. In personal relationships, it might be choosing not to react impulsively, allowing emotions to settle before responding. Cultivating patience. Nature does not hurry, yet everything is accomplished. Understanding the rhythm of life, trees don't sprout overnight. Seasons transition with an innate rhythm, and the cosmos moves in its time. Wu Wei teaches us that, like nature, our lives too have a rhythm. Embracing patience doesn't mean being passive or lackadaisical. It means acknowledging that not everything is within our immediate control. Whether you're awaiting the germination of a seed you've planted, the fruition of a project, or the evolution of a personal relationship, patience becomes a powerful ally. It provides the buffer against anxiety, the urge to interfere, or to hasten processes that naturally require time. In a practical sense, this could translate to not constantly checking for responses after sending an important email, giving space to new team members to adjust and align with company culture, or understanding that personal growth and learning have their own pace, distinct for each individual. The paradox of over-effort. Trying to control the future is like trying to take the master carpenter's place. When you handle the master carpenter's tools, chances are that you'll cut your hand. In our obsession with results, we sometimes believe that putting in more effort, working longer hours, taking on more tasks, pushing harder, will yield better outcomes. Wu Wei challenges this notion. Imagine trying to write with a pen by applying excessive pressure. Not only will the writing be messy, but you might also damage the paper or break the pen. Similarly, over-effort in our endeavors can lead to burnout, reduced efficiency, and can sometimes even sabotage the very goal we're trying to achieve. Over-preparation for an event might make you anxious and less adaptable to changes. Pushing a team relentlessly might lead to decreased morale, innovation, and productivity. In personal spheres, pressuring a relationship to progress at an unnatural pace might strain or break it. The teaching here is to find the balance between action and inaction, ensuring our efforts align with the natural progression of things. It's about trusting the process, giving our best, but also understanding that excessive force is not just unnecessary, but often detrimental. Embracing the lessons of Wu Wei in our contemporary world might seem like a challenge, but these age-old teachings aren't in opposition to action. They are a refined approach to it. It's about harmonizing with the flow of life, understanding when to act, when to wait, and when to retreat. As we integrate these lessons, we find that the wisdom of the ancients can indeed illuminate our modern paths, guiding us towards a life of balance, fulfillment, and profound understanding. Across the tapestry of human experience, countless narratives showcase the principles of Wu Wei in action, even if the protagonists of these tales might not explicitly cite this Eastern philosophy. From boardrooms to sports arenas, artists' studios to personal narratives, there's an abundance of evidence suggesting that sometimes less truly is more. Let's traverse these varied landscapes, discovering stories where effortless action made all the difference. The inception of 3M's Post-it notes. One of the most iconic products to emerge from the corporate world, the Post-it note was, in essence, a byproduct of an experiment gone wrong. Dr. Spencer Silver, a scientist at 3M in 1968, was attempting to develop a super-strong adhesive. Instead, he accidentally created a low-tack, reusable, pressure-sensitive adhesive. For years, this mistake lay dormant, with no apparent use. It wasn't until 1974 when a colleague, Art Fry, realized its potential as a solution to his perpetually slipping bookmarks in his hymn book. By not forcing an immediate application for the failed adhesive, 3M eventually introduced a product in 1980 that would revolutionize offices worldwide, the Post-it note. Had Silver been singularly focused and discarded what didn't match his initial aim, the world might never have had this indispensable tool. the Beatles' Let It Be. In the turbulent waters of creativity, sometimes stepping back allows the tides of inspiration to flow freely. During a period of internal disagreements and external pressures, Paul McCartney dreamt of his deceased mother who told him, "Let it be." This dream not only inspired the song but also represented a philosophy that McCartney and the rest of the Beatles began to embrace. Instead of forcing creativity amidst chaos, they allowed things to unfold naturally. The result? One of their most iconic songs and albums. It's a testament to the power of surrendering to the moment, letting go of the need to control, and allowing creativity to blossom in its own time. Roger Bannister and the 4-Minute Mile. Before 1954, the notion of running a mile in less than 4 minutes was considered impossible, but Roger Bannister, a medical student and runner, approached the challenge with a different philosophy. While many athletes were increasing their training regimens, Bannister decreased his. He believed in quality over quantity, ensuring that each training session was purposeful and aligned. He did not force himself into excessive routines or succumb to overtraining. With a focused and minimalist approach, on May 6, 1954, Bannister did the unthinkable. He ran a mile in 3 minutes 59.4 seconds. His accomplishment was not just about physical prowess, but also about understanding the rhythm of his body and knowing when to push and when to rest. The story of Julia and the unplanned journey. Julia, a marketing professional, had meticulously planned a solo trip to Italy. Every hour was accounted for, every site to be visited listed. But on her second day, she lost her itinerary to a sudden gust of wind in Venice. With no internet access and a dead phone battery, she had a choice: panic or embrace the unexpected. Choosing the latter, she allowed the city to guide her. She meandered through alleys, discovered hidden courtyards, experienced impromptu opera performances, and forged friendships with the locals. The trip became not about seeing, but about experiencing. By not trying to control every moment, Julia found herself immersed in authentic experiences that no itinerary could have offered. It was an embodiment of Wu Wei, moving effortlessly with the flow of life. These stories, spanning different domains, echo a singular truth. There exists a magic in not forcing outcomes, in understanding when to act and when to yield. They highlight the harmony that arises when humans, despite their innate desire to control and predict, align themselves with the more organic, often serendipitous flow of existence. Whether in the throes of innovation, the swirl of creativity, the adrenaline of sports, or the unpredictability of personal journeys, the principles of Wu Wei shimmer through, teaching us timeless lessons about balance, patience, and the unparalleled beauty of letting things be. In the dizzying whirlwind of our modern age, where the relentless drumbeat for ceaseless effort and pursuit resonates in every corner, lies a profound, almost radical counter-narrative, the gentle whisper of Wu Wei, beckoning us towards the allure of effortlessness. It feels almost audacious, this idea of non-doing, especially when set against the backdrop of a world that equates busyness with worth and hustle with success. Yet, as we've traversed the vast landscapes of history, business, art, sports, and personal stories, a resonant theme emerges. It's the discovery that, paradoxically, it's in the spaces between our actions, in our pauses, in our yielding, that the true essence of life often reveals itself. It's in recognizing that sometimes the most potent action is in not acting, in allowing life's river to carry us forward, rather than tirelessly swimming against the current. However, this isn't a call for passivity or an invitation to abandon our goals and aspirations. On the contrary, it's a nuanced dance between knowing when to lead and when to follow, between steering the ship and letting the winds guide us. It's about redefining our understanding of success, not as the destination arrived at through sheer force, but as the journey undertaken with grace, alignment, and intuitive wisdom. Yet this discourse would be incomplete without your voice. As we conclude this exploration, we extend an invitation to each of you to share your tales of serendipity, of moments when non-doing illuminated your path, of times when letting go led you to destinations you'd never envisioned, and more so, to experiment with the principles of Wu Wei in your daily endeavors. For in this collective sharing and mutual experimentation, we not only enrich our individual lives, but weave together a tapestry of experiences, painting a world where effortlessness isn't a luxury, but an exquisite art form we all have the privilege to practice. In embracing Wu Wei, perhaps we'll find that the most profound truths of life aren't shouted from mountaintops, but whispered in the silent corridors of understanding, waiting for those willing to listen, to discover. Let us embark on this journey together, carving paths illuminated by the gentle glow of effortless action, and in doing so, redefine the contours of a life well lived.